Turn them on. What is up, everybody? So, how are you doing this Halloween Eve? Hope everybody's going to have a good weekend. Either give kids candy and give them cavities, or go out to Halloween parties, or dress up and get drunk and act like an ass. Whatever your plans are for Halloween, I think that covers just about every generation of Halloween lover. So, yeah, we're just hanging out. Got CJ with me. Got Silver Knight Kyle. I think got a couple other people showing up, but we also have Brandon from Dismay Comics. We're gonna let him take the show, kick the show off real quick, and give a nice little what the hell, CJ, and give a nice little promotion for his Kickstarter that he's got going on, and then I'll play a video, and then we'll just kick it. We'll kick it with a tasty groove, as Tenacious D likes to say. So,
Sounds
Brandon,
good.
go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, so I'm Brandon Ingram. I'm kind of the creator of Dismay Comics. Main comic series that I'm working on now is Dismay Avenue. It's a horror anthology series. Issues 1 and 2 are on Kickstarter now. And no, I am Brandon Ingram. I'm not the Brandon Ingram that plays on the Pelicans. I'm not the Brandon Ingram that was once on the Lakers. That's not me. You should probably know that by now. But yeah, I do like playing basketball. He would definitely kill me in basketball. So yeah, Dismay Avenue issues 1 and 2. It's my horror anthology series. I love horror. I grew up on horror. The biggest influence being Rod Serling's The Twilight Zone. And so with issues 1 and 2 of Dismay Avenue, there's a lot of influence from that and a whole bunch of other horror stuff throughout my life. And this is the cover of issue 1 right there. But yeah, issues 1 and 2. Issue 1 follows a story called Program, where it follows a couple named Ben and Mia who go to a movie theater on the outskirts of town, and it's dead. Like, there's no one there. Parking lot's dead. It's a giant Cineplex, though. Huge Cineplex, but no one's there. It's just a couple concessions workers. And things get creepy as it goes along. As they go in there, just various stuff gets weird. The first third of that story is completely true. It's a date I went on a few years ago, and I just kind of made a what if horror story of it. So there's that one, and that's over 40 pages of story. And then issue 2 has 4 different stories, and it's over 60 pages of story. And something I should mention is I really like the writing with all of these, but I'm biased because I'm the writer. There's bias there. I will say the art is beautiful in both issues. Issue 1 is very like surreal, atmospheric, dreamlike. Issue 2, 4 different, completely different art styles. The first story, Tolls the Bells, is very much like a manga, like Junji Ito art style. The second story, Raw Horror, again, very similar to the movie theater story because it's very dreamlike, surreal. Third story is more like modern, contemporary art style. And then the fourth story is very much like a Dr. Seuss-esque art style because that's intentional. It's supposed to feel like a Dr. Seuss type story starting out. Then it gets pretty dark as it goes along.
4 different artists?
4 different artists, yeah. That's something I mentioned is it's 4 different artists with issue 2. Each story, like I mentioned, it's over 60 pages of comic, just that one issue. Each story is done beautifully. You can go to the Kickstarter page and see a ton of previews. Like there's a few preview pages with each story within that Kickstarter page. But yeah, Kickstarter's going right now. We've been doing pretty good, but something I should preface to people is this is only going to be available on Kickstarter. Like, I don't have an online shop. I don't plan on getting an online shop and putting it on there. This is kind of the only way to get it, kind of like an exclusive thing. So it's kind of one of those things where if you're interested in this, definitely back it within the next couple of weeks because that's pretty much when it runs out is a couple of weeks from now. So definitely check it out. At least check out the Kickstarter. See if you like any of the stuff. There's a tier, like a reward tier for any budget from $1 to $60. Every little bit helps. as well as just sharing it out with people. And we're working on some stretch goals right now. We're trying to get to our $2,000 stretch goal, where there's an awesome poster, which I'll reveal beginning of next week for people, that all physical backers will get. And there's also a 75 backer giveaway. We're going towards 75 backers, where one lucky backer will get this original piece done by the cover artist for my series, The Gallows Man. And Gallows Man is very much like, best way to put it is Adam West Batman, that show, like the fun campiness of that show mixed in with like Quentin Tarantino level movie violence.
Oh,
that's basically The Gallows Man. And so the cover artist for this did this piece, and one lucky backer will get this. It's Newsboy, who's basically the Robin equivalent, chasing down a mobster downtown city, that's the city in Gallows Man, going to exact his brand of justice. But if you're interested in The Gallows Man as well, that's an add-on in the Kickstarter, so you can get your scary books. And then if you want to alleviate yourself from the scariness, first change your pants, and then you can also get the superhero books with that. So that's kind of my whole spiel with that.
Okay. All right.
Very cool.
Here. Let's see. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna share the page for the Kickstarter. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. I will drop the link for the Kickstarter in the chat. So if you guys want to go check it out, but I'm about to play a little clip from the Kickstarter itself, as like, I'm assuming this is a promo video.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Here we go. Share. Here. There's that. There's it at. All right. I'm going to full screen this real quick and then hit play.
Hey guys, Brandon Ingram here with Dismay Comics with our first issue of our horror anthology series, Dismay Avenue. I've been looking forward to this coming, and it's amazing. This series, if you're wanting to know if this series is for you, it's for the lovers of any and all things horror, the lovers of unique storytelling, the lovers of anthologies, and the most important thing to me, the lovers of just beautiful, amazing art. And that is completely on display here in Dismay Avenue #1. In Dismay Avenue #1, we have the amazing Jade Sky up on art. She does an incredible job. We also have the incredible Nikki Powers on lettering, and it all culminates into a great main story for Dismay Avenue #1. The main story is called Program. It's called Program. Program, it follows the cute young couple of Ben and Mia as they go on what seems like just another movie date night for them. Just another movie date night that happens to be at an almost unknown movie theater on the outskirts of town. And Mia and Ben, they soon realize, however, that this will be anything from just another date night as things get more and more surreal within the walls of this movie theater. What will be the outcome of Ben and Mia? You'll have to find out in Dismay Avenue #1.
All right. That is definitely something I'm probably. When did you say the Kickstarter ends?
It'll end November 18th, noon, Central Standard.
Okay, awesome. I get paid for that, so I'm definitely going to jump into this.
It ends on my birthday. I got a question for you, Brandon.
Yes, sir.
Before you roll off for the day, are you going to show us your sweet dancing and tetherball skills and your sweet exorcism skills? I mean, God.
Yes. In case no one picked up on it, my get up, I am Napoleon Constantine today for Halloween Eve. The real reason is I couldn't find my white button up because I guess I sold it. So I'm just going as Napoleon Constantine. I've got my Zippo lighter that Constantine always has ready for that. I've got Mountain Dew that I'm sure Napoleon Dynamite drinks. And I've got a secret stash of tater tots in my pocket. I'm not going to
Tater
get them
tots in
out.
your pocket. Gosh.
Yes.
Gosh.
All right. Yeah.
I think I have a mask somewhere in this. I do. I had to dig for it, but I found it.
When we were talking about that backstage, I thought, first break, I'm going to show you how thing into me. I got Constantine action figures, the movie, the entire run, basically the entire run of Hellblazer. You are speaking my language today.
I legit would love to see like a Napoleon Dynamite, like going up against demons type movie. I know that sounds stupid. It sounds ridiculous, but like we
Keanu
need some
Reeves is
stupid and
coming
ridiculous
back.
stuff.
Keanu Reeves is coming back as Constantine.
And his voice, sometimes he sounds like Napoleon Dynamite with his voice, so that could work.
Well, you know what? If he's got his brother as his sidekick, that's a surefire winner as far as a comic series. I'll tell you that much.
What was it? Simple Simon got the Bill and Ted last issue or whatever, and it was like the photo cover of like Keanu back in the day, and he looked at Sarah and he was like, "This is my Keanu. This is the way I remember." And I was like, "Yeah, that's how. It was like that or Point Break Keanu, like that." But that was our Keanu. Was that like 80s? Y'all like.
So Brandon, how nerve-wracking of a process is this going through this whole Kickstarter and everything? I think a lot of people would love to hear, the whole thought process of somebody like you that's self-publishing.
What's up, Circum?
Thank you, Circumstances. Yeah, when it comes to like creating and writing the comics, like that's not a problem. Like I love writing, and also over the past few years, I've teamed up with artists and stuff. So none of that is like nerve-wracking or anything nowadays. But what you're saying, the Kickstarter can definitely be nerve-wracking because the building up to it, like the whole build up, just telling people about it like 2 months beforehand, like, hey, this is coming out. And then a week before telling everyone like, hey, just a reminder, this is coming out. Then the day it comes out, like, hey, it came out. And then like that 30-day span or however long your Kickstarter is, just like yelling out of every window, like, hey, it's here. Please check it out.
And then you're basically seeing every single dollar and every single pledge that's going there. And like one more. It's like nerve-wracking. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at it from a little bit from a selfish perspective because I'm kind of going along that path myself.
Yeah.
I'm hoping at one point or another to have publish my own comic as well. And I'm looking at people like you, and I'm saying my nerves will be shot. They'll be completely shot.
It's one of those things where ultimately I'm glad I have this Kickstarter going right now. Hey, Trev. I'm glad this Kickstarter is going right now because life stuff has been like ramped up times 10 the past month. So it's like, at least I got something to focus on right now. So there is some good with it. But yeah, it's crazy. But I ultimately do love it. And a big thing I should mention to people, I don't get a profit in this. I'm not looking for a profit in this because I paid out of pocket for those artists 2-3 years ago when I hired them to do the books. And the Kickstarter money basically is covering the printing of the book. So people get the books, they can get the books, and I can also print a few extra copies for like comic conventions or have those extra copies for like future Dismay Avenue Kickstarters. That way, like, let's say Dismay Avenue number 3 or Dismay Avenue number 4, or someone's like, something to keep in mind, it's a horror anthology series. So you can pick up any issue and be fine. You don't have to go back, read previous issues. But someone might be like, well, I also do want to read issues 1 and 2. And it's like, well, I've got them right here. If you're backing Dismay Avenue number 3 Kickstarter, you can also pick them up there. So all that to say, no profit is being made.
So basically, the road of every starving artist when they first like trying to get their name out there more and more, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is, I love it so much. If I never get big or make a profit for 5-10 years, I'm still going to do this because I love it. Like that's just one of those things where, like, if you're getting into comics or getting into comic making to get rich or whatever, it's a fool's errand. Because that is like 0.01% of people get rich off of making comics. You have to like really love it if you're going to do it. That's the driving force, is that love.
I disagree with that. You should have a little bit more confidence in yourself. You say, I want to be the best. That's it.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the thing is like, if that does happen, that'll be awesome. But I also have that mindset of if it doesn't happen, that's also okay. Like, I'm not going to be bummed out either way. If I get it, heck yeah, that's awesome. If I'm working for a bigger publisher or whatever, that's great. Or if my stuff gets bigger, that's great. But if it doesn't get to that level that people expect it to, I'm still good with it because I just love doing it.
Good mindset to have. Really good mindset to have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, Tylox, I'm taking over your interview.
Hey, you're good. You're good.
I'm just really, really curious because I like to hear about this stuff. You know, I have my own, you know.
I kind of was gonna pick his brain.
I like to poke people's brains and steal all their ideas, and they use.
You guys know I've got a comic written. I've just got to get in touch with the artist, figure out one. Like I got to get in touch with some people and be like, hey, how much would it cost to get this done and that done? And I got to do the whole, because I hit up a few. I've hit up a few companies, and they literally said the same thing. They were like, dude, like, yeah, hit up an artist. You got to pay for it all at the get go. And send it, you know, what's up, Astro Wizard? Send it our way. And if we pick it up, we pick it up. We don't. But you know, you might have to release it yourself, do a Kickstarter or something like that. So yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, I'm gonna pick his brain a little bit later.
Well, I wanted to mention real quick based on that, like, quick tip for you or anyone else like looking to make comics and you're a writer looking for an artist. Facebook groups are a good way. There's like writers seeking artists or artists seeking writers. That's a good way. Instagram, you can find a ton of great comic artists on Instagram, as well as Deviant Art. You're going to spend a lot more time on Deviant Art, but that's where I found all the artists for Dismay Avenue issues 1 and 2. So
well, that's a big problem for me because I'm so antisocial. I don't like to talk to anybody.
What's up, Arsenio?
I'm an old management mouthpiece with artists and stuff like that. So I always say, hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and be happy and content in what you get.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep. I think me and CJ were talking about that earlier. It's like, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda kind of stuff, but it's really weird how all the stuff I coulda, woulda, shoulda, I still do now. Like I still literally do all that stuff now.
I got another Kickstarter question for Brandon there.
Yeah.
Which is harder, getting a Kickstarter going, getting Tina to eat her damn food, or pulling a demon out of a priest? Which is harder?
I gotta say, I've done the pulling a demon out of a priest thing. That sounds crazy, but I mean, like, that's happened a lot. I've done that a good bit. The Kickstarter is tough, but getting Tina to eat her food is nearly impossible.
God.
I'm just waiting for Grandma to just sell her already. I'm tired.
Food, Tina.
Yeah.
It's ironic.
Sorry, I'll let that one go.
On one of CJ's streams, he was talking about Napoleon Dynamite, and I told him, I was like, that's like one of my least favorite movies of all time. And he's like, how don't you like that movie? And I was like, I used to be pretty good with a bow staff. And he just started cracking up laughing because he knew exactly what line I was talking about. Like, I remember every line from that movie. It's memorable. I can never.
That was a movie that
oh my God,
I don't care if you love it or hate it. You're going to remember it.
What was it, Uncle Rico, who was like, I bet I could throw a football over those mountains. Like,
I had no interest when it first came out because my kids were into it. And I was like, yeah, that ain't going to be something for me. And my kid popped the DVD on, and they liked it. But she popped the DVD on. First thing he does is tie that string around that action figure and throw it out the bus window. I fell on the floor laughing. I did that. I actually did that. I actually used to tie strings to action figures and throw them out bus windows.
Come on, vote for Pedro. Come on, man.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, you're just mad because I've been talking to hot babes online all day. Like, it's just, oh God.
Gosh. Come on, man. When he gets Pedro's cousins to give him a lift to the prom in the freaking lowrider. You can't beat that.
You know what? Maybe I do like that movie more than I thought I did. Maybe
you love it.
Actually, maybe I low key like that movie and it snuck up on me. Like, I didn't even know
You're
I
just
liked
a
it.
closet fan of the Dynamite.
Maybe.
Yeah, I
Now
think
that I
you
think
are.
about it, because I do remember and like the girl that he dated in the movie, I was like, oh my god, those are the girls I dated when I was like, in high school, like, little shy, weird girl. Like that was that was, oh my god, what the hell? Like,
What's weird and like kind of funny is I watched the like the behind the scenes stuff of them making the movie, and the scene where Uncle Rico throws the steak at Napoleon and it hits him in the face. That was like a real steak, and they did that like 3 or 4 times and just like kept hitting him in the face each time. I don't know, those lower budget movies, like the stuff they have to do with it is really fun to see.
well, anything with Diedrich Bader in it is an instant win for me. And his character in that movie, the like martial arts, like Zumba pants wearing, like, martial arts instructor who basically just teaches you how to push people down and takes your money. Like,
Yeah,
that's
and
pretty
like
much all he
I'm
teaches.
trying to remember, Uncle Rico like goes to his wife's house or something, is like trying to sell her something.
Yeah.
Breast cream.
Yeah.
Like K-pop said, though, Kip is the real pimp.
Man,
He just
that movie did not end any way in which I thought it was going to end. Like, I literally got to the end of that movie and I was like, what happened? Like, how did
he played tetherball with his girl? It was the perfect happy ending.
Oh yeah.
And that song was perfect to use at the end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, I love everything about that movie.
maybe I do like that movie and I've just been in denial all these years. Maybe.
Is it the greatest movie ever created? No. But for me, it's one of those I have to remember movies.
Well, we were talking about like the Adam Sandler movies, like You'll Never Forget Wedding Singer, You'll Never Forget Waterboy. Like, that stuff is just ingrained into your head. Like,
well, Waterboy is like slapstick, but Wedding Singer is actually a much more intelligent film as far as what they do with it. Sandler every so often throws one of those movies out that make you think a little bit, and you're like, he's not a moron. He it's not all about slapstick. He puts out some stuff that make you think a little bit.
Yeah. You want an 80s movie that is endlessly quotable that most people have never even heard of? My Chauffeur. You must see My Chauffeur for quotable things.
Well, speaking of Chauffeur, his buddy, like, he was making him try out for the chauffeuring job at his wedding.
Yeah.
And he was like, and she was like, he's your best friend, and he's like the only like cab driver or like limo driver in town. He was like, I know, I'm just fucking with him. Like, that's me and my friends. That was me and all my friends. Like, you totally had the job. You just didn't know it. We were going to screw with you first. Like,
Brandon, were there any movies or genre or time period of films, TV that actually inspired you in what you're doing with your comics?
When it comes to the comics, I'm trying to think. I like not entirely like just straight up comedies, but I do love to write comedy and stuff. Like Gallows Man is like my love for superheroes, as well as like kind of a love for Golden Age and Silver Age superheroes. But there is like a lot of funny comedy in it. I can't really say like the 1960s Adam West show is like what helped inspire me to do that, because I have only seen one episode of that show, and it was after I wrote The Gallows Man. I do want to see more of it, but I just don't want to see more of it now because I'm still making more Gallows Man stuff after this miniseries, and I don't want it to be partially, like, subconsciously influenced by that.
And that's definitely the kind of show that can do that to you.
Oh, yeah.
You will remember things, and even if you think that it's original, there's stuff that came out of that show that just like stick with you.
Oh yeah. I'm trying. There's a ton of movies and shows that inspire me, but when it comes to like some of the stuff I like writing, like comedy and stuff like that, I have watched a bunch of sketch comedy shows and stuff. Like I love the Chappelle Show. I liked Key and Peele. There's some show. It's on Netflix. It's like Tim Roth something. I don't remember. It was another good sketch comedy show, but I don't know. I think there's some decent sketch comedy shows that have like influenced like my comedy writing.
Tim and Eric's awesome show.
Not Tim and Eric's awesome show. That has influenced me some.
Well, how old are you?
And then, of course, Dr. Steve Brule.
Oh, my
Oh
gosh.
yeah.
But
How old are you, Brandon?
before I forget about it, my chauffeur, Deborah Foreman from Valley Girl, Sam Jones from Flash Gordon, an old fellow Marine like me. But you got Flash Gordon on there. You got a character named Catfight that's a rock star that is endlessly quotable, and it deals with a 20,000 point pair of panties. You have to see this movie.
I will definitely watch it, and I will give you my full review.
Oh my God! It is the most quotable movie. It's just above Napoleon Dynamite for like most.
That's
quotable
perfect
movies.
because I need more copyright material I could get hit with on my stream.
He's gonna hold the world record for the most videos on YouTube with copyright strikes.
Brandon, how old are you?
25.
25. All right. So now I'm trying to gauge what is inspiring you. So you're not a millennial. You're a Gen Z.
Yeah, it's
Z-ish.
weird because I'm like almost caught in the middle. I'm at like the end, like the beginning year of Gen Z, and like right when millennial ends. So it's like
You're a millennial Z.
I guess, yeah.
Well, I'm a get off my lawn Gen Xer. So
When I was his age, I was just getting out of the Marines, and that was 30 years ago. So, yeah.
by the way, Gen X is the coolest generation. So no offense, Mr. Kyle, but you know, we made things cool.
I'm the Gen X that had Billy Idol fronting him. I'm all right.
I'll say at least with Gen X, at least it's like the cooler name.
No, that's
Gen
true.
X.
That's true.
Like that's cooler. Like
What was Gen X? What's Gen X?
What is Gen X? It's Billy Idol's first band between
No,
Hank.
well, I know Generation X. I know that, but like Gen X was like what years?
Actually, I believe it's from 1972 to 1985, somewhere around that range.
Oh, I'm right there at it. Okay, I'm right there in the.
I think it's right around that range.
Well, that's what I always tell people. I always tell people we had it the best because, like, I remember the original Nintendo, and now I'm playing on like an Xbox Series S, and now there's the Xbox X out. So I've seen like seen the whole, digital like thing just come to pass. Like where it's just like I remember VHSs, and now everything's streaming. So like it's just this. I don't know.
That sounds about right. What Comics by Bay said, 1965 to 1980.
Okay, I missed it then.
yeah.
I'm Gen Z, I guess.
I'm in Gen X then. But yeah, I remember Pong actually being in
ColecoVision
and stuff like that.
I don't know myself.
I remember Pong, the stand-up game.
Yep.
So I go back a little bit there. So
okay, I'm a millennial then. I'm glad someone knows this stuff because I don't know. I just hear people rattle off things.
it freaking figures you running around with that mullet. You're a millennial. I knew that had to be the case.
Yep, I'm bougie with a mullet.
I figured that would be the case. But
I had a rat tail once, but shit,
I had
that
a rat tail as
35,
well.
36 years ago. So.
The mullet might turn into a rat tail. I'm kind of debating it on whether to get rid of the full back here and just make it like I don't know. I might just get it braided.
Transplant it and get a proper ass mullet. Have cousin Ed ass,
Mm-hmm.
looks like a skull.
I'm thinking about doing the flat top on the top, but I don't know.
Well, you could eventually do what like some of the goths did in the 80s and 90s and do kind of the reverse rat tail where you had a little thing coming down here, kind of like braided a little bit,
or whatever,
like the Misfits
thing.
Yeah,
I could do that.
I think I'm gonna get a perm and look like Brandon. I like that. I'm digging that look. Let's bring the men perm back. Let's bring the 70s disco back.
So, are you going out
Don't tempt me. I'll
trick
try
or
to
treating
get a
in that
Jericho.
costume? And if so, have you gone to look for a stuffed llama you can drag along with you?
Oh my god!
I'm doing like trunk or treating, like with a big community. I was thinking about, because I really liked Everything Everywhere All at Once, the movie that came out this year. I was thinking about dressing as, if anyone's seen this movie, Raccacoonie. It's basically the mom doesn't know what ratatouille is, and she keeps mispronouncing it and saying Raccacoonie. And there's an alternate universe where there's a chef who's being controlled by a raccoon, similar to Ratatouille, but it's a raccoon. So I was going to do like chef garb, have like a stuffed raccoon in my chef hat. But I think like no one's going to get the reference, so I might be like, I'll just do
God.
Ratatouille.
Could you imagine how crazy it would be to have a chef controlled by a raccoon? That guy would be all over the place, like all over the place. He would be doing nothing that made any sense. Like, because raccoons, like I've known a couple people who've had pet raccoons, ones they've raised from like really small to like older. Those things are so ridiculous. They will do anything and everything, and they totally understand what you're saying. Like they're just like, you know, cats and dogs where you tell it no, and it knows that it's not supposed to do something, but it's like a toddler. It will literally just be like, "Don't want me to touch this? That you didn't want me to touch that," and it'll like smack it across the room or something. It's kind of like when a cat like pushes things off a table, the raccoon will just pick it up and throw it.
I'll tell you something. Raccoons are sneaky little bastards. I don't know how the hell people put them in their houses. I would never put that freaking animal in my house.
They will steal your stuff and hide it from you. I've heard some of the greatest.
And they got
things.
hands. That's what freaks me out.
Yeah.
Freaking raccoons have hands. There's a comic. Write a thing about raccoon with hands that freak people out. That scares the shit out of me. The thing comes out there and it's like goes and touches everything, and you can open up your drawers. I don't know. Freaking raccoons are scary shit. You know? Did you ever have a raccoon in your house?
Yeah, I've had one. I had a friend of mine bring his pet raccoon over, and it was really hilarious because, like, I think we had a cat at the time, or we had two cats, and the cats were literally sitting across the room from this thing, just looking at it like, "Is that a cat? I think that's a cat." Like, I can't figure this out. And the raccoon.
Did they get along?
I mean, they were just trying to figure each other out because the raccoon was literally just looking at him like, you know, "Hey, what's up?" And they were just like, "Is that a cat? That it looks like a cat, but I don't think it's a cat because its hands are different than ours." So
I don't think you can domesticate those things.
They ended up getting along. They walked up and sniffed each other, and everything was cool. But
I don't think you're supposed to domesticate raccoons for some reason. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it may not be the same level, but it's the people that'll get like a bobcat or something, and they're like raising it in their house and stuff.
That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen for me. I can go ahead and tell you now, like, you know, I've got 3, but once these 3 are gone, like, you know, however long that takes, I'm telling you now, like, I'm either getting like a bobcat or like what's the other thing that everybody says I should get? Not an ocelot, but it's something like that.
A ferret?
No, it's
a lynx.
Big cat. It's bigger than a house cat, but it's like
a lynx,
smaller than a bobcat. It's chat probably knows what I'm talking about. I love this comment by Comics by the Bay. I had a raccoon that would come out of the woods every morning and come onto my porch and just stand on its back legs and stare at me while I had my coffee.
Yeah, I would not get along. Listen, maybe it's because I'm a New Yorker. Maybe it's because I'm from New York and I can't live with the raccoon stuff around me. Like you know, pigeons and dirty ass squirrels. That's enough for me. I don't need freaking raccoons. I lived in Long Island for I don't know how many years, and freaking raccoons were coming out of nowhere. Possum. You ever see a possum? Do you see how dirty those freaking things are?
No, if it was legal, Trev, if I could legally own one in South Carolina, I would love to get a lion or a tiger, just so I could literally tell people, don't freak out around the cat before they go in the house.
Yeah,
like,
sick.
Cat, and then they walk in my house and there's like a tiger or a lion laying on my couch, and the thing's just looking at them, and they're like, "Oh crap, cat!" Like a big cat. Like,
you're a sick human being. You get a cat. You're like one of these people that they go and get the lions and stuff like. They're like, "Oh, look how cute it is when it's little," and all of a sudden it becomes like you know, a year old and it's bigger than them and it eats them, and they're like, but it loved me. Yeah, okay, It's a
I
freaking.
think Mark missed
tiger.
the conversation where I said I think I could totally take a cheetah. I mean, they're not that. They're not that big. They're like what?
I would bet any money in the world a cheetah will eat your ass before you even blink.
I bet you every money in the world that if I don't run from him and I get into attack position, he'll just immediately be like, "Why is he not running? Is there something I'm missing here? This might hurt."
Would
Alright,
you get
you're
a hyena?
You're reading way too many comic books, man. You're not freaking Tylex of the jungle. I'm telling you, man. This
Possums are gnarly. We get them in the backyard all the time. After
Those
the
are
dogs
nasty
make them play
motherfuckers.
dead, I grab them with the shovel and throw them over the fence. I don't kill them. They're ugly, but they kill ticks.
I gotta know
about-
if given the opportunity, would you get a hyena?
I don't know. That might be too big.
why?
That's something that I really don't think. I don't think I can.
Those are nasty critters too.
I mean, I don't think I can have a hyena.
They got ugly faces too. They're not even cute. The hyenas.
As well
I mean,
as they're
they're
just
like a
sleeping. Well, the problem
They're
is
like a dog, aren't they?
there's a million problems with them, but also anytime you're trying to sleep, you're just going to hear that creepy laugh in the background.
Oh my god.
I don't want
I thought
hyenas.
hyenas were like
I don't want
dogs.
tigers.
Like dogs,
I don't
they
want
can't-
orangutans.
Okay.
I don't want rats. I don't want any kind of animals that could eat me. I don't want any.
Man, I've had so many people who've had pet rats, and they freak me out. But that's just because they just.
All I want is an animal that if it gets out of place, I could kick its ass and it listens to me. That's it. If I know for any reason it could kick my ass or eat me, not touching it.
So staying away from pigs. It might not be able to beat you up, but it'll definitely eat you.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely eat you,
A
and
pig?
they're indestructible.
A pig?
Like we have.
My wife just make a half appearance on TV. I think my wife just made a mild appearance.
Uh
I
oh.
think she did.
I think she did.
Like I've had so many friends who have pet rats, and once you have a pet rat that you've raised from like a small one, they have no sense of personal space. So like every time I would go over to a friend's house who had a pet rat, they would be on you and like on your shoulder and in your face and being like, trying to touch your face and being like, "Hey, how are you?" And you're just like, "Whoa, dude, would you give me a couple inches? Like, could you? I can smell your breath. Like that's a little."
And I'll tell you something else about rats. People don't know this. They think I'm going to be crazy when I say this. If you're like sleeping and you have like a little cut or something on your foot or something like that, and you fall asleep and the rat's loose, it's going to come and start nibbling at your wound. That's what they do. They're nasty animals. My great grandma, she died from a rat eating her toe.
Yeah.
Not joking.
She died from what?
A rat bit her toe off.
And she died from it
in her sleep. Yeah, she got an infection and she died. We're talking about like my great grandma, not my regular grandma. My great grandma. That was back before they had like medicine and shit. She got infection and she died. But that's what happened. It freaking bit her big toe off.
Going
Chop,
off of what Mark and
I'm pretty sure this is true, Chop. Goldfish will get as big as you feed them.
Yes. No, it depends on the type of the carp will do that.
Okay.
The carp, not the regular goldfish. The like regular goldfish, the pretty ones, they don't get that big. But the carp, those could become like 3-footers.
I used to have a pet sheep, but the ASPCA took it away when I broke its ribs during rough sex. So.
Legion, freaking! I don't eat rats. Okay, I'll cook a rat up and I'll feed it to you, my friend.
I've eaten rat and monkey and.
I'm about to say I've eaten rat. I've eaten mountain oysters. If you don't know what mountain oysters are, you can look them up. But I've had those.
Rocky Mountain oysters. Yeah.
Look, I'm just trying to go on the Batman diet. Batman started off eating rats in the sewers. You just got to go with it. You want to become Batman, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
Listen,
go to Asia and go to some of the smaller towns and things like that, and they'll say you chicken on a stick. That's everything from
you
cat.
people say that about rats because you don't live in New York. You all don't live in New York. You don't know what the hell we have here.
I was about to say, no, you don't have rats. You have like.
You take a look at our rats. You don't want to
your
eat a
rats
rat.
are like 10 pounds. They're bigger than house cats. Like
You
our
look at
rats are
one of
like
our
normal
rats.
size rats.
You want to hear? You want to hear a fun New Yorker story about finding out what real rats are?
Sure.
My best buddy in the Marine Corps, John Zajac, he was from Yonkers, and he would talk the most shit about big rats. And we got deployed down to Cuba, and you know what a banana rat is?
No.
All right, so you know in The Princess Bride when they go through that swamp and the rats attack them,
Yeah.
they're based on banana rats. They're that big. They're called banana rats, but they're like the size of 3 raccoons and a human centipede kind of thing.
Oh my god.
They're that thick, low to the ground, and they snort and bark like pigs and dogs.
Well, somebody said that
we got stuff like that in our sewers.
Bark like dogs.
But yeah, look up Cuban banana rats or Caribbean banana rats.
You want to believe me? Go to the subway during a day that it's raining
Yeah.
in New York when all the rats are running in the tunnels, and just stand by the freaking landing of where the train comes in and look down at the tracks and see what the hell's running up and down. You see stuff like this. Heads like this, like pigs. That's how big these things are. It's scary. You eat one of those things, you're gonna get a freaking infection that's gonna last you for the rest of your death because you're gonna die in 2 minutes.
Then put on a condom and split its ribs.
Trev said he saw a rat in New York once and thought it was a corgi.
Yeah, good sized rat looks like a corgi, and a banana rat looks like a very large corgi.
Nasty little bastards, big bastards, or whatever you want to call them. Nasty.
Nutria and wild hogs are starting to go everywhere, and coyotes. I know our coyotes are kind of under control, but wild hogs are starting to get bad around here, and they're all bad in the southeast. Nutria, I think, is starting to get pretty big around places too.
Well, at least wild hogs taste good.
They do.
Yeah.
But they're dang near impossible to get rid of. Like, trust me, I know from experience.
Well, they should do things like they do with the alligators and just like put hunting season for them.
Well, there's no season. They're literally, I think, wild feral hogs are literally open season all year round. Like, game wardens will pay you to kill them.
Is that true?
Yeah. There is no season. They're to, because I mean they'll decimate crops. That farming will not exist if they get too out of control.
Is there good money? Is there good money in wild hog meat?
Yeah, because it's like I said, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to kill those things. Like you have to hit them in the head with something hard, like really hard.
I'm saying, but is there good money?
Money's not all that great, but the meat you get from them.
Meat's great.
That's incredible. Really
the first time I ever discovered wild hog was when I saw Rambo, and he killed a wild hog and he ate it, and I was so intrigued after that movie of how good the meat is or not, and like I made every time my uncles would go hunting, I'm like, can you bring back a wild hog? And it was like. Rambo was the person that introduced me to wild hog. It's probably one of the best meats you could eat.
Yeah, Lady Fantastic. We now have armadillos as well in South Carolina. They are everywhere.
Those are probably hard to kill too.
Yeah, I mean, like you see them in the road all the time. Like if you drive down the road, you'll see raccoons, you'll see possums, and you'll see armadillos.
Wait, are we allowed to talk about killing animals, or are we going to get canceled now?
I don't know.
I got a backyard full of moles and divots in my yard from mole crawling through everything. I'm ready to get rid of them like the gasoline and explode my yard away.
Man, if there's good money in the wild hogs, I'm going to come down there with a freaking bucket of TNT and I'm going to take them all out.
You have to have proof that you killed it. You can't just come up with little bits and pieces.
You'll get all the bits and pieces all together in a big bucket. I'll get them all right there and make a killing. I'll be like that guy on the History Channel that goes hunts crocodiles. I'm going to be the wild hog annihilator.
How we spent 20 minutes talking about
I'll be like, shoot them. Shoot him.
We're spending 20 minutes talking about wildlife on a comic book channel. There you
Yes,
go.
we did. So
Got that.
let's get into some comic books. Anybody want to see what Comic Journey sent me in a 3-pound
Yeah.
box of comics?
Wait, you gonna put me on the spot like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure am.
Really?
Yep. This is
Really?
happening.
Did I
If it's
start?
good, I'm going to hit you up for a trade as soon as this goes.
Did I start something yesterday by like putting people on the like profile like when we're
You
opening
sure
a
did,
box?
because I was like,
Well,
oh,
this is not-
be great. I
Well,
can
this
put
is
him on the spot tomorrow.
this is not a freaking trade or mystery box.
This is just an A-OK.
No, this is a giveaway that I owed him, plus a bunch of stuff that I promised him I'll send him over, like AOK kind of thing.
So the first thing I see is a letter that says
Make yourself big.
a letter that, or not a letter, a post-it note that says,
You better not be offensive.
it says recycle everything, damn it. So there's that. Oh my God.
It's a comic brick.
Pretty much. Oh,
I have
wow.
to tell you, all the packing material has been recycled.
this is definitely not going to get damaged.
And then
And everything smells like cigarettes.
you can wrap yourself in bubble wrap later and have a pop.
Oh, I got the little bubble wrap and the big bubble wrap.
All right. Which do you prefer to wrap around your junk when you're rolling around on the floor and pop it?
The little bubble wrap. The big bubble wrap stops too much of the impact. Then you don't get off at all.
Too much air compression.
So I have a picture of Comic Journey. No, I'm just kidding. Oh God, I can't get it loose.
You have a picture of his ass mullet?
No. I have a picture that he sent me that says, "You're weird and awesome. Thanks for being you. I appreciate you." And it's a little face man.
Oh,
So, thank you
spectacular.
very much, Comic Journey. Glad
That's
to
hangable wall art right there. I'd be putting stuff like that up on the brag wall.
I am. I have a wall. I have like stuff all around the computer around me that people have sent me and stuff like that. And then I keep, if anybody sends me letters or notes or anything like that, I keep all that. So let's see. It's in shitty condition, but you said you wanted it, so here you go. Hey, it's a newsstand. I actually needed this. Double Dragon #2.
Nice.
That completes my Double Dragon series. I can finally read that. Oh, yes. Not only is this a WCW book, but it's a newsstand next $1 billion book. Oh, yeah, I had to get this. So this is WCW World Championship Wrestling #8. Sting's greatest battle outside the ring, and it's Sting and Cactus fucking Jack.
Spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching that match as a kid. I remember that.
Hey, speaking of wrestling comics, you got the Valiant comic of the WWE?
No. Better late than never. Sorry about the delay. You're fine. I already knew you had life stuff going on. Oh, I see something else that's friggin' awesome. Oh my God. CJ, you're awesome. Oh, wait. Oh, pull tabs. Look at that. He knows how to package.
I have to practice what I preach, right?
Yeah.
Well, no offense to Lex Luger, but CJ is the total package.
I can't disagree with you on that.
I can't disagree with you.
But I will take the compliment. Thank you very much, Kyle.
So we have Nottingham.
But you're the OG.
Nottingham #2. Nottingham #3. And I know these are all like probably different prints and stuff, but I don't.
Don't ask me what prints they are. That's what I
I was
have.
about to say I don't care. I just wanted to read this because I've heard this is incredible. Nottingham #4 and #5. This was a giveaway for this 200 sub giveaway.
For something. I don't know.
Some kind of giveaway.
I lost track.
Oh, this is awesome. The Amazing Spider-Man #295, Life in the Mad Dog Ward. I love this cover. It's black and white cover.
It's a
So
newsstand.
It is a newsstand.
$1 billion.
$1 billion. Right there. Now here we go. This is this is definitely going on the wall. Oh, this is so great. Oh my god. So this is a sketch he did of me, and I think this is me holding up one of my cats. What is this? I'm assuming this is me holding up one of my cats.
Yeah, it's one of your cats.
Oh my god, that's incredible. That's totally going on the wall. That is wall worthy. 100%. Thank you so much, CJ. I almost said your real name. Only you would want this freaking comics. Enjoy them, brother. Oh god. Because I don't remember what's all in here. I do, but I don't. Like, I remember the Double Dragon, I remember the WCW book, and the Nottinghams. But anything else, I don't remember. I don't know what it is.
I don't even remember what I put in there now.
Oh, yeah, okay, I do remember these. Nice. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, number 20. Number 22.
That was from the day I went dollar bin diving live in the store.
Number 28. I love these books. I love Dungeons and Dragons. Number 29. Number 30. And number 35. And I do not know how long that series ran, but I want to get all of them eventually.
I hope that helps you.
That definitely helps, because I have a good bit of them, but I don't think I had any of those. So thank you very much, CJ. I appreciate it. I have so many notes I have to file away now, and they're all post-it notes, so this shouldn't be hard. Matter of fact, I'll just stick them right
I
here.
hope that it makes you happy. Appreciate it.
It does. It makes me very happy, especially the picture. Now I got to put it up somewhere.
The pictures where you listen, when somebody assassinates me, you know how much that's going to be worth?
A lot.
You know that's
That's
coming.
the only way it's worth anything, right? The only way your art's worth anything is after you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. And you know that's going to happen. Sooner or later, the odds are somebody in this community is going to kill
Somebody's
you.
going to whack you.
You know? I've already got death notices from multiple people. You know, so
I
hey,
have not read Dragonlance. I need to look into that because I love stuff like that. Kyle, I believe you have stuff to show too, don't you?
Yeah, I'll show some stuff off too. I was back there trying to fish out the like 80s Valiant with the Nintendo stuff. When Valiant
And wrestling stuff?
I got to dig out the Nintendo stuff and the
wait, can we pause for just 1 second, Kyle? I don't want to steal your thunder. Just
Steal
1
my
second.
thunder.
Just 1 second. How
Sure.
many people that are watching right now have already liked this video?
How many? I don't know. I can't see.
I ain't like
How
the
many people?
StreamYard.
How many people that are watching are subscribed to this channel?
I don't know.
Dude,
Actually,
you
I
know-
think most of them. Because I
I
actually
want to
looked
make
at-
sure that people are subscribing and they're liking this channel, and that's why I'm here to bring freaking Tylox ratings. And you know, you think my celebrity comes cheap? You know, if I'm going to be here, I want to see subscribes and I want to see likes in this channel. And
Actually,
you know,
that stat for me is really high. It's like 95% of the people who watch my channel are subscribed, because I don't think anybody in their right mind would watch my channel if they're
all right.
not
So
subscribed
this
to
is what I
it.
need the chat to do. I need the chat to go and tell all their friends to come on now and freaking watch this video, and tell their fake accounts to come here and watch the video and press subscribe. And then I know all their little kids have accounts too. They subscribe too, and their wives and their husbands and their grandmas. Everybody needs to come and share this freaking channel and share the mother love. That's how it has to work. And then after you're done doing that on Tylox's channel, after you're doing that, you're gonna watch it completely. You're not gonna freaking stop halfway in like 1 minute. That doesn't work for the algorithm. You're gonna watch the whole freaking video, and you're gonna subscribe to the channel. You're gonna like it. You're gonna get all the grandmas, grandpas, and everybody, your dog's account, everybody's account, to come and subscribe. And then you're gonna go over to Kyle's channel. Anybody that's got a blue wrench, put in the freaking chat. Kyle's
Yeah, I've got some wrenches in here. I'm pretty
and
sure.
you're not gonna cut off before you Tylox's shows first. You're gonna finish it first, then you're gonna go over to
What's up, Daniel?
Kyle, and then you're gonna go and subscribe to his freaking channel, and you're gonna like it, and then you're gonna tell your dogs and your grandmas and your spouses
Your
and
dogs.
and your fake accounts and your porn bots and everybody. They're gonna come on, and you're gonna go subscribe on his channel. And Brandon, do you have a channel?
No, I do not.
Well,
man,
if you
gotta
do decide to make a channel,
YouTube channel.
you actually should have a channel with your little intros of the comic.
You should.
Yeah, why wouldn't you do that?
I mostly
great
just do I do TikTok, and then me and my buddy have a podcast. So that isn't on YouTube. It's just like
Freaking Z, freaking kids with the freaking Z and TikTok. Make a YouTube thing.
Here.
Brandon, go make a YouTube channel. It's free. You already have the content. Load it up. Let it run there, and then I'll push to get you a gazillion subscribers. Okay, all right. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt you. Okay,
Also,
but if you like,
if you want to check out Brandon's Kickstarter for his Dismay Comics issue, was this? Yep, Dismay Avenue issues 1 and 2. Then there.
Put it in the freaking chat. Put the freaking link in the chat and let everybody go in and support the Kickstarter. And then after that day, they could go TikTok with him. And go put the TikTok in there too.
I do actually have a TikTok. What is your name? Is your TikTok Brandon?
Dismay Comics.
Okay, it's Dismay Comics. Got you. I will do that now because I do actually. Have
All right, my public announcement is over. I'm sorry, Kyle. I don't mean to steal your thunder.
Steal away, brother.
I felt it. I felt an inert need in my soul to have to convey that message to everybody.
He was possessed by a YouTuber spirit.
There you go.
It just came out. I exercised it just now.
There you go. And
So
it comes out.
I think we're okay now.
Yeah, I didn't know how long he was going to go, so I was going to go back and dig out my Valiant box, but I'll do
Yeah,
that.
you want me to keep going? I could keep going. You go back.
I'll go. No, I'll show these off now, and then I'll go back and dig out my Valiant
If you
box.
want me to keep going, Tyler could make me big, and I could start going.
Yeah.
You know that he can go for hours.
How's this for cool? If we had a chatty Cathy off, I think I might actually beat him, but it depends. So
I bet you I could talk faster.
I know you can talk faster.
You could probably win the marathon, but I could win the sprint.
Yeah. But today I got an AOK from Gray Man. He sent it to Metarog, and Roger gave me a call earlier in the week, and we did a video chat and got to pick out. Gray sent like $20, and we split them 10-10. So I got AOK from Gray in there, and then I did a trade with Roger, and then Roger also threw in some AOK stuff there too. I'm gonna start out with the stuff he just gave me. So this is one of them premium books talking about the Indian folklore of Tennessee meteor, the great comet caused the terrible floods of 1811. This thing's in nice good shape. Now all you gotta do is look at the back to know, that's late 40s, early 50s, and check out the phone number. 555.
Oh my God, that actually existed.
Yeah, you'd call him and say, I want to talk to Sounderton 555. You'd preface it with the city name and then the telephone number.
Where the hell did you find that?
More than likely, this is late 40s. What's that, CJ?
Where the hell did you find that?
It was an AOK today. It was a gift from Roger. Me and Roger are old.
Hey Brandon, Mr. Z, you're looking at 555 total phone number. That should blow your freaking mind.
Yeah. I was just calling that number. I got in touch with the operator. The operator actually picked up, so I'll see where it goes.
And there's a 1967 March of Comics. These were giveaways. Like the
back when that mustache was okay.
This is to a boot shop.
Isn't that screwed up?
It ruined a mustache. Yeah, you can no longer have that mustache anymore.
1967 on that one. Now here's a run of these. They're going to look like coverless comics, but they're not. they came this way. They're like newsprint comics
That's
giveaways from 1951, 52, 50, 51, 52, and 53.
What's up, TM?
And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. Everything from Eat Right and Win, and sports, electricity. And something neat about this being 1950, you talk about early television.
Have you actually read through them?
Stations. I just opened these up today, so I haven't sealed them up or anything, so I haven't even had a chance to go through them.
One of my favorite things to do with books like that is actually look through them and see how incorrect all the information that they had back then is today. And
I got a book in my library.
It is too. So
I got a book in my library and a bookshelf in my room that was the things that happened in the 1890s. It was put out in 1898, and there's actually a segment on where this guy found a tribe of new humans that were basically Aboriginal pygmies, but they hadn't identified them yet because he thought they were shorter and they were actually a new variation of human. That's how backwards thinking they were. So here's some old 70s King Comics giveaways with Popeye, Blondie, and High and Lois, and Red Eye and Tiger. I'm still in the AOKs from Roger. I think these were part of the trade. I only needed one issue, but there's the run plus a second, third issue of Death, the High Cost of Living. How about some Alice in Chains?
wait, pause for 1 second. Well, it's 1 second. Has everybody's grandmas subscribed yet?
I think so.
I'm going to keep reminding everybody every 5 minutes.
Loading. It's throwing up all over the place. I've got.
I'm going to keep reminding everybody until this happens. All right, keep going.
And there's a run of Tandy computer things from Radio Shack. And boy, oh boy, do I have a fun story about Tandy Electronics I could tell one day after hours. So
that's only for the creatures of the night.
Yeah, it's about a liaison I had with the heiress of this, with the heiress of Tandy Electronics. Now, nice and simple Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man number 11. Except there's something drastically different about the average issue. What do you think, Tylox? You got one of these?
No, I don't. Why is his mask off?
It's not that. That's just the
35 cents.
This was a 35-cent price variant, so there's less than 1,500 of these that exist.
Oh, wow.
So part of my trade involved this 35-cent price variant because I got 15-cent price variants from the 50s, and I traded in one of those. And
I did not know that.
I've got 30-cent price variants, but I didn't have a 35-cent price variant, so now I have one. How about 1964 Strange Tales with like the 12th appearance of Doctor Strange, 13th appearance of Doctor Strange in it. So that was in the trade. Now the big boy from the trade is this beauty right here. Fireside Silver Surfer book from the mid-70s.
What?
So needed to get me a Silver Surfer.
It's a great cover. Looks like one of the comic pornos I opened up the other night.
And then so I can get stuff a bit more organized here. Some of the stuff I got from Graham. Some 1980 Spider-Man and Hulk Weekly.
That's my favorite thing you opened up so far.
Here's another one that happens to reprint Journey into Mystery 112, or the first section of it.
Love it.
Spider-Man Weekly. Super Spider-Man. So, again, just reprinting the issues. Now, before I get too far with this one, I did want to do this. Here's one of the Super Spider-Man 10 pence issues. And if that looks a little bit familiar, it's because it's a reprint of that 35 center I got. Now, ironically, the only version of this I don't have right now is the regular 30-cent one. So now I'm on the hunt for a cheap Peter Parker number 11 for that. Let's see, then there's Spider-Man and Hulk. Pretty sure that reprints Spidey 120 and 121.
What years are those from?
These are 78. The first ones, I believe, were 80. So these reprint a lot of 2-in-1 or team up stories and stuff like that. That's 78. How about Foom number 3 with Spider-Man on the cover?
Nice crotch shot.
Yeah, there you go. Is that a Spider-Man you got, Ty?
Actually, I have something like that. I have this, which is closed. Now I know why that cover looks so familiar. Here you go. When this came out, I was like, "This looks so familiar," and I couldn't figure out why. And now I know why.
Yeah,
Image anthology books that came out.
yeah, that's a rip.
It's
Boom
like,
number 3 from 1973.
yep, 30th anniversary.
Look at those sneaky bastards.
Mm-hmm. And I knew it was
All in
familiar.
1973.
Double crotch shots.
All right.
Yep.
And then let's see, this is 14p, so I think this is like 82. Spider-Man and Hulk. Spider-Man and Hulk. And then the big one from the gimme is only 5p because it's 1973 and it reprints Avengers number 2. So, and early Fantastic Four. So there's some 1973 goodies. And then there's a run of these, which again, more Spider-Man. Where you at, Ty?
Hold on 1 second. I'm reaching over next to my computer. There we go.
Tyler needs to put his Kang back in.
I'm
Tyler.
just going through a lot of Spider-Man here. So Spider-Man with the superheroes, which again, that reprints that Hulk issue.
Oh yeah, I have that. I have a coverless one that's missing like 4 pages, but it's really dope. Yeah, it's like what,
Spider-Man.
120 or something like that. 120, 121.
Yeah.
Yeah,
120.
it's really good.
And then there's another one. Then there's a bit of Mysterio.
Oh, now I'm dropping stuff.
And then there's one last one right there of those, and that concludes my trades and giveaways. You know, these things had the original Captain Britain on the back of them.
Very cool.
So
Nice.
but I got a run of British ones. But the big parts of my trade were obviously these 3, the 35 center,
Yeah.
the old Strange Tales, and the Surfer. So
Yeah, I didn't know the 35 center thing was a thing.
yeah, there aren't many of them. So I've got some cockamamie variations. If you're ever bored, you go looking through my old videos, I go in depth over those. And one of the things I mentioned is the only thing I'm missing is a Marvel 35 center. And I've got every type of price, major price variant from the 50s up. So, and now I have it. So I have every type of price variant from the 50s up of all the majors. And that's all the new ones I got today. So if you want to go on to something else, I'm gonna go back and fish through my Valiant box.
Well, I want to go into something else one more time. How are we doing on those subscriptions?
Let me look.
How are we doing the likes?
Let me look.
Are the grandmas in? Are the dogs in? Are the porn bots in? Are everybody here to subscribe?
I have actually lost 1 subscriber.
All right, we're on a great track.
He's one of the grandmas.
and there are 12 people watching, and the video now has 24 likes. So double the likes is the amount of people who are watching. So thank you, everybody.
If we lost only one subscriber, we're good. We're
doing good. We're doing real good.
All right. Well, while you guys are talking, I'm gonna go fish out them valiants and blow your mind, Ty, because I think we're gonna end up doing a trade. So.
Well, I need to start digging and see if I got some stuff I can get rid of.
What the hell is this guy can go
already
find?
getting rid of.
You know, this guy. I don't know, Brandon, how well you know Kyle, but this guy. He turns around, you blink, and he brings out all the crap. This guy is the man of a million
So
things.
much stuff.
He's got so much shit. Like I never seen. He's the
like I aspire for my house to be that way. Like where I'm just like,
and it's not even one type of collectible he has. He has. Oh, you like comic books? Sure, I got comic books. You like signatures? I got signatures, no problem. You like pornos? I got pornos too. I have everything.
Literally, he gave
Little
away
dragons and
when we did when we did the C3 event.
Look at it.
He auctioned off comic books that were from like the 1800s.
Now he's pulling out coins. Look at this guy.
So there's a Holy Roman Empire coin from like 420.
Yeah.
Bronze copper coin that Art Alazakis from Everclear gave me. There's a Sumerian coinage, Persian coinage. And there's Jerusalem widow's mite from 2,000 years ago. So that was just sitting over there while I was getting it in boxes. But shrink me again. I'm going to go fishing for my Valiant.
See? Yeah. It's just like, oh, you like old things? I have things that are 2,000 years old.
Only 2,000 years old.
Yeah, only. I got stuff a lot older than that. Oh, got to bring this over. This is relevant because you mentioned them right from the get-go. And I can't remember if I ever showed it on here before, but since you mentioned them before, as the show started.
Yep.
What is that?
Yep, that is the official Tenacious D cum rags. You could probably only get those at shows.
Yep. Tenacious D concert, but there you go. There's some Tenacious D for you.
See what I freaking mean?
I gotta know, did you get it new or did you get it used?
Gables used it for me, so I did a Jack Whack Attack, and 20 years later,
if KG used it, if KG used it, I would still want it. If Jack used it, I probably wouldn't take it.
Freaking guy. He shows us coins. We're talking about 2,000 years, and then he pulls out cum rags. What the hell? What else? What do you got? Do you have vintage douches in there as well?
Coins from Cradles of Civilization. Nothing wild to see here.
You want a 2-foot Superman?
A 2-foot Superman.
2-foot Superman. I got to move out of the way.
That's not impressive. I want to see a 2,000-foot Superman. You gotta stun me. Now every time you pull out stuff, I'm less and less stunned by the stuff you're pulling out now. You're pulling out your best tricks. Look at this.
Now I'm expecting like a. This is a World War II warhead. It's still active. I have it here just in case.
Just in case.
The gunpowder hasn't been used yet. Holy crap.
I don't collect war trophies.
That's the only thing he doesn't collect.
I have stuff from war. I have a North Korean tactical map when I was on the parallel, but here, hold on before I get to these. Let me slide over here. There's my box of sand from Iwo Jima. Hold on, I gotta scoot that out the way. There's the only thing that I brought back from the Gulf War was my Gulf War goggles, because I had to burn the rest of my uniforms. And then inside of it's a signed dollar bill from Gunny Arlie Ermy, the actor from.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know, when I met him, he was selling knives. Like he had like his own brand of knives, and he was like going around like Lowe's and like doing like a meet and greets and stuff like that. And my
Yeah.
buddy called me up, and I just happened to have the day off, and he was like, "Gunny is at Lowe's right now in Greenwood," and I was
There
like,
you go.
"For real?" So like we drove to Green, like he came and picked me up, and we drove to Greenwood just to meet Gunny. And the first thing, like once we met him and said hey to him and stuff, we both bought a knife, but B at the same time we were like, would you do us a favor? Like instead of taking a picture with us, will you yell at us instead? And he was like, no. And you have no idea how many people asked me to do that. It's like he's like already 20 people have asked me to do that before you guys asked me to do it. But he was like, I'll totally take a picture with you though and act like I'm choking you or something. And we were like, okay. Like,
You know what I talked to him about when I walked up to him the first
What?
time? You know, we were talking about animals before and how they feed you this shit in
yeah,
Asian countries like dogs and monkeys.
yes.
That's what we talked about. A conversation we've had here, I've had with him.
Yeah, he was really chill, really cool dude.
Just out of curiosity, how does a conversation come out like, hey, casually, hey, what kind of animals have you eaten before?
It just happened. You saw it happen. How does it happen? You just saw how it happens.
Rattlesnake is really, really good. Really good. It's kind of stringy, but it tastes incredible.
I've never
All right. So
good.
I'm checking here on these.
Don't
Yeah.
try it.
All right. Make me bigger, Ty.
There you go.
Now, when Valiant Comics first started out, a lot of people thought it was the shiny covers and things like that, but Valiant Comics started out as a Nintendo spinoff.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a 1990 Game Master comic.
It's a pricey comic book.
Nintendo Comic System. But it gets bigger and better from here because that's the most bland one.
Now you got the Gen Zers' attention with the video games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how about Legend of Zelda?
What?
I had no idea. Valiant.
I had no idea.
They had the licensing deal for them.
There's issue 3. Yeah, Valiant was a Nintendo spinoff. Valiant
Yeah,
came
we need to
too.
do a trade, Kyle.
So you think? Now hold on. Hold on. Because I'm going to take this one straight up out of the plastic. I can tell you a story about one of the guys on this cover. Actually, I think I have told you a story about the guy on this cover, but when I was a kid. But this 91. Yeah. I keep saying WWE, thinking of the old WWF, but here you go. How about a 1991 WWF, Lifestyles of the Brutal and the Infamous, with Undertaker knocking the shit out of Big Boss Man.
Oh my God. Yeah, we need to do a trade.
So, I kind of figured these would end up in a Tylock's pile.
Yeah, you just gave Tylex a hard on him with that WWE book.
But a couple of years before this, Mark Callow there, when I was living in North Carolina in the Marines, and Ric Flair would do shows, make sure WCW shows came through the bases, and he hit Lejeune and Bragg, and our little gym at Lejeune didn't hold 50 people. Like it didn't have pull-out seats or anything like that. They actually set up a ring in that sumbitch and put on a 2-hour show for like 40 of us. So I got to hang out with Mark Callow while he was cutting his chops like 3 years before he came the Undertaker.
When he was like a redhead?
Yeah. I mean, that's
Caroline,
very
check your,
beginning.
Instagram chat.
So, but yeah, I figured I'd dig out them old Valiant gaming system ones and figured, all right, well.
Yeah, you have my attention.
You're the one that wanted the Max, right? You're the reason that the Max sign book is up here, right? Because that's my AOK too.
That would be me as well.
The Max is the AOK. These aren't AOKs, but they are. If you want me to put them on your trade pile, that's where.
Yeah, put them in the pile. We'll figure something out.
Because you for sure want these.
Yes.
Okay, then they're going on the tie pile. All right, you can unshrink me again, and we can go on about different
Kind
colors.
of shrink you. I think that happens with cold weather or water. I was in the pool.
This guy's like a freaking Ant-Man. He wants to keep growing and shrinking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Autograph. Max #1. That's going to you as an A-OK. So, all right. So now,
Isn't it funny how Sam Keith's characters all look like they have scoliosis?
They do. Now that you mention it,
You think he has scoliosis and that's why he draws them all like that?
he might.
He's trying to normalize it.
What the hell happened? It went dark.
Well, we're running in on your time, Bookworm. Actually, no, we're probably coming up towards the end. I know Caroline wants to come in, so there's no telling what she's going to show. She might. I mean, with the conversation we were having earlier in the chat, there's no telling what she could show.
she's going to show how to cook a possum.
Oh my God!
As long as it's not a New York rat, we're good. That's where I don't cross the line.
Hey, before I move furniture, Brandon, is there anything you want to see? Because if you rattle something off, I can pretty much find it.
I guarantee you, once you start moving furniture, you're gonna see like a million things under that furniture. That
I was about to say, like, yeah, I guarantee you,
hidden
anything
freaking
you call
treasure.
out, he has one.
Want a Spider-Man Funko Pop?
Nice.
Man, he even freaking bobblehead dolls. The hell?
The only one that I want that I can't, I mean, I can find it, but it's like $80 or more anywhere I look for it, is the black suit Spider-Man. I should have bought it years ago for $30 when I saw it, but I was just like, no, wait, it'll be cheaper eventually, and it's gone anywhere.
All right, enlarge me one more time, Spider-Man fan.
What the heck?
Laser etch, Spider-Man Carnage,
Where
Venom,
do you find this stuff?
Marvel exclusive.
Where do you even go to look for this stuff? That's what I want to know.
It's 1996.
Freaking guy.
I still got the box for it too. So, but you'd have to talk my grandson out of this because I think my grandson stake claims to that.
That's some great weird shit, man. Really good stuff.
The glow-in-the-dark Ghost Rider action figure. That's the chains glow in the dark. His face glows in the dark.
That looks like me and my date last night.
Huh? Didn't go well?
No.
And
Boy, there was
Gosh.
not last night. The last night you were
Hellblazer #1, Napoleon Dynamite, and John Constantine. Because, damn, Tina.
Gosh.
We just need someone to make a custom Napoleon Dynamite figure now.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean,
seriously,
you could always get one 3D printed.
do you got some
Sure.
random interest, Brandon? And I'll see if I can pull something out.
Trying to think. What's
obscure shit?
what's a crazy Superman thing you have? Not the 2-foot Superman, but something crazy dealing with Superman.
Are you sitting down?
Yes, I'm sitting down.
Brad, that was too easy. You
think
got to
I
tell him
don't-
something really freaking off the wall.
Well, I'll be the judge of the craziness. I love Superman. Superman's my favorite superhero. So I want to see here.
So, how many of Action Comics 1 are there that known on the known market?
Less than 100. I don't.
Or
know.
either just at 100, between 80 and 120,
Yeah.
somewhere in there graded. And that's 1938. This is 1940. And it's a Superman candy coupon.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And there's less than 50 of these known.
Dang.
There's more Action Comics 1 out there still intact than these.
So where would that be in a comic? Where would you get that back then?
From Superman Candy. They actually
Oh,
make
okay.
candy things.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So then I got old newspaper things and reporties and stuff on Superman too. I've got 1950 World's
Looks like
Finest.
whoever was eating that candy bar took a bite out of the coupon at the same time.
They tore it. You had to tear it off and mail it in, and they tore it off, but they didn't mail it in, and that's why it survived. Because most of these got mailed in, and there are like 50 of these known, and I have one of them. So
It reminds me of
That's-
the Fleck cartoon.
yeah, the Fleischer cartoons. Yeah.
Fleischer cartoon, yeah.
Yeah, because this is 1940 when that kind of came out. So that probably was promoted along with that.
By the
So-
way, one of the few cartoons from that time period that actually stand the test of time as far as viewability is concerned.
Yeah. So, So, were you happy I asked if you're sitting down? See
That was
something
awesome.
Superman related, more rare than action
So
comics?
I actually
That was
did some
really good.
Googling, and the cats that I'm talking about there's a Bengal cat that's actually bigger than a house cat. It's pretty big. It's like the size of a dog. And then there's a caracal cat that's also the size of a dog. So it'd probably be one of those.
You are
This thing-
getting way too excited off of these wild beasts.
And this thing really looks like a puma. That's what it looks like in the face. It's just got really weird looking ears.
I'm just looking at your eyes get big about talking
Yeah.
about them. You're scared
The
the shit
Bengal
out of
cat
these
is
animals.
really adorable. This is the cutest thing I've ever seen, but it's definitely big. It's like
Brandon, you know anything about Cold War history?
Some bits and pieces, mostly just from history class.
How about a nuclear proliferation fact book from the United States Senate?
Oh,
Where
we
did
lost
you get
it.
that?
That's just sitting on a shelf next to me. Places I ain't supposed to get it. Where'd he go?
I have no idea. He disappeared.
CJ disappeared. I think his phone might have died. So that's what just sits around me randomly. 2,000-year-old coins given to me by rock stars. Senatorial fact books.
You see why we keep him around?
Just insane. So I said, pick another topic, pick a non-comic thing. You like
What the hell
hockey?
just happened? The googly eyes kicked me
Oh.
off again.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to stump you. I just want to see how far this expands.
There's a Washington Capitals game used puck.
Do you have?
I have Wayne Gretzky's home address.
Yeah. What do you want? What do you want? We've got it all.
It is comic book related. I'm not trying to stump you. I just want to see how far this goes.
Stump
Do
me.
you have anything dog welder related? DC's dog welder.
Nope, not even a clue what that is. What is dog welder?
It's who's the guy that did Punisher Max? Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis. He basically made like this character in his Hitman comic that
Kind of newer though, isn't it? That's post 2000, right?
I think like late 90s, yeah, early 2000s. Yeah.
You might stump me a little bit there, but
Anything
You
from
go back
Elvis?
before
We're getting
then.
requests from the chat now. You got anything from Elvis?
you got anything from Elvis?
Oh, don't get us started about Elvis.
Anybody who knows I'm going to whip out something from Elvis. It's going to make him shit. How about a first print of How the Grinch Stole Christmas in the bookshelf next to me?
Ooh, I love Dr. Seuss stuff. That's not socially
So,
acceptable.
who said Elvis? Let's see. I didn't put my pictures up the other day.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what Lady Fantastic whips out.
Let's
I picked a
see.
few. But then I picked one main one.
Elvis. Now, granted, I've been giving these away lately because I'm going to end up giving them all away. But how about original photographs from Elvis's last concert in Indianapolis before he died? Front row seats.
He had
There's
the
a, there's a picture of him handing that towel to my dad.
Uh-huh.
There he is knocking back a bud with his guitarist.
shit, dude. I bet you if you had that rag drug tested, there'd be a lot of shit in there.
And then if you like race car driving, the movie Driving in the mid-'60s with Paul Newman, my mom was an extra in that movie.
God, he was so hot, dude.
So those are sitting right on top. All right, there's the Elvis. Anybody else got a stump before I put things up?
This is just so I know, what do you choose not to collect? Like stuff you don't care
Irrelevant
for.
things.
That's a great question.
Dead bodies.
No, I
That
can't.
you know of.
Well, you know clearly he can't answer that.
That's true.
I
He signed an NDA.
got like 14 Trivial Pursuit games of every genus because I got to help Q&A with those. Any more stumps before I move furniture back and get out of the way?
Sure, I'll stump you. You have you have a 2 foot tall Superman.
Yeah.
Do you have a do you have a 2 foot tall Supergirl?
No, just Superman and Batman.
I see some X-Men toys up on the top of a shelf.
Yeah, that's the old Toy Biz, the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, snap. I remember those. We played with those and broke the shit out of them things.
You want to see them?
Oh, yeah. Which ones you got?
But don't hurt yourself or
I
anything.
was about to say, do you have the Banshee you can whistle through?
Like, we're going to watch him and he's going to fall. And, like, he's just going to be laying there.
Oh, you're just full of beautiful things to say, aren't you?
I just
You
bring up
come
the
onto
news.
a freaking panel and you wish you the guy to get hurt. What the
I'm
hell?
not.
What
I'm
the hell?
catastrophizing. And that's different. That's not a death wish.
Catastrophizing.
I'm being a Debbie Downer. Just be careful, man.
You're freaking more morbid than I am. What the hell?
I can't help
He's
it.
got a neck tattoo. Dead bodies are in play.
And thank you.
Well,
I'm going to guess that is the original Indiana Jones Harrison Ford hat up there.
No, that's
Probably.
my old hat.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's his old hat. Yeah.
Well,
Tijuana Bibles. Actually, he does have Tijuana Bibles. I know he does. 'Cause he's already talked about it.
Indiana Jones actually borrowed his hat and used it.
Exactly.
Well, I am from Indiana, and he was named after the dog they had from Indiana. Hey, CJ, remember when I told you about the stripper gift of the handcuffs?
Right, now that's the kind of stuff I want to see. Come on. Now you got my interest.
I am a chaos agent. That is so true.
All right, now I forgot something here.
Well, I think Lady Fantastic joining the panel deserves another 200 subs, doesn't it? No, we haven't had. Have we had any sub action? Have we had any more like action?
You know,
What's the update?
this
I
is
bet
not an
we've lost
insult,
5
but
more subs.
are you very good at math?
No,
Who, me?
I'm just
I don't need math. Math's irrelevant.
All right.
We are at the
Oh.
same amount of subs.
So since Caro came on, I just figured I'd flop these out real quick because they're going to her.
Oh,
Here's a mid-high grade. It's like a 6.0 FF52 going to her.
I got an extra one of these for you. If you want the Amy Grant,
Yes, ma'am.
I'll
That'd be
start.
awesome.
Yeah,
And then
I'll
the
get it.
superhero women. So
that's the one. The Fireside. Oh,
did you see what I traded with Roger today? The Fireside with Silver Surfer I got.
yeah. I was here. I was here. I was in the audience.
she was in the chat
But-
causing trouble.
She got first dibs on these, so basically these are hers. We just haven't transacted them yet. And speaking of haven't transacted it yet, I'm gonna hammer it out Monday. But speaking of things coming Monday, I'm gonna hammer out a deal for this particular issue
What the?
and a whole bunch of others.
What is that?
TJ just got a hell of a deal on that issue.
Holy
my
shit,
God.
I remember that. I bought that for my kid years
Oh
ago.
my God! Why would you give it to your kid, asshole? I was kidding.
No, that was in Toys R Us. I remember that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's got the whole new
That's,
team.
that's the full set of them. Now the coolest one. Now, mind you, my facsimile X-Men 1 signed by Jack Kirby, but the coolest, and they got Velcro.
That answers your question, Bobby. He has met Jack Kirby.
No, I have not met Jack Kirby,
Oh,
but
you've
I
not
have
met Jack
Jack
Kirby.
Kirby autographs. Kirby died before I got the opportunity,
Oh,
but
Open it.
that's got Velcro. But these are the original team.
Those are beautiful.
Oh,
Those are
you
bigger
see
figures.
the angel when he spreads his wings. I'm gonna pull this out because it's a holy crap. And mind you, this is mid '90s. This is mid '90s, and as far as I'm concerned, this is still the coolest toy. He's got detachable wings,
Oh, and it's got joints.
but it's got joints, and you slide that right in.
that's what
You
she
can
said.
you can open them up. And it's that big.
That's legit.
So instead of a detachable, it's retractable.
Yeah, and it's got massive joint movement all around. Yeah, these are fantastic. Then this one,
Tylux, I was doing the duck thing on purpose.
You
I was
know- you
trying to
know-
match my head up with it.
All right.
25
We'll go
bucks
back.
for a fucked up duck. Then we got Avengers #1.
I love that thing.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'm really glad I asked you to get these.
There's a beautiful Thor with the
Oh,
inscription
man, the
on the
Thor.
hammer.
Look at that Iron Man.
Oh my God.
The radio antenna on his shoulder telescopes out. It comes off. Yeah. Wait till you see this.
You know that somewhere in the YouTube verse, you have like these freaking people cringing right now that you're not using gloves and tweezers and actually pulling them out of the box, and they're freaking out right now.
There's a retractable antenna in his shoulder.
You need to share it with JD.
Tony.
Oh my
that's
God, the
cool.
head comes off.
The helmet comes off too.
That's what she
Now-
said.
I'm really glad that you weren't like, I wonder if the head comes off and then you pulled and then you heard something snap and you're like, well, it does now.
Yeah, and it's so detailed that the inscription is actually on Thor's hammer there. The full inscription. Then it's the original
man,
squat
that
Hulk.
would be incredible.
Now, if you see, there's a couple ants, but there's no Ant-Man and Wasp in
What's up,
here.
Brother John? Hope you're having a good time at Baltimore Comic Con.
He's got Ant-Man and Wasp somewhere.
Did you get to meet Jim Lee too? Because Naaman got to. This is a highlight of his day.
There it is, up under my knee.
And then
I
we
did
got
a
a white
little-
guy who knew a lot about Korea.
I did a little diorama with
Oh, that's
Ant-Man
cool, man.
Oh, that is so cool.
and the Wasp, and this is glow-in-the-dark grass. And
Oh,
there's
that's a
ants
shit.
climbing through it. I pulled an egghead and I display this like that. So
Look at you. This is like Martha Stewart for boys, and I fucking love it. I'm here for it.
okay, any other stumpers? I'm more than happy to go grab anything else. If anybody's got any,
Well, I want to show y'all my cane because it's just laying right here on my leg.
Awesome.
whip that Kang out.
I
Oh,
whipped it out.
God.
And that's the only Kang I have on hand right now. And usually one at a time is as much as you need. I pulled like a stack of kind of goofy or fun or recent acquisitions, but the one I pulled out, this right here is really to flex. I guess I'll show my flex first.
Okay.
It's to flex against.
Now, when you flex yours, does it go up and down?
Yeah, it can twitch. It's got like an extra tendon or something. No, okay, jungle action. Bros. I'm gonna show you my jungle action. And if you notice, I'm gonna start with number 2. But what you'll see is that there will be no other missing issues besides number 1. And that's me flexing to Kyle and being like, say what?
That's her favorite issue.
Mine? No, it's
Yeah.
not.
I muted myself. Do you
I was
need
about to
another
say
one?
the rip dude with a snake wrapped around his body.
Yeah, I do need a jungle action one. That's the only one I'm looking for.
Would you be averse to having one in British pounds
Nope.
or British pence?
Nope.
Because I'm brokering a deal on Monday, and maybe I can pick one up like that, and then I can put it in a trade with you too. If you want to do that, I can pick up a jungle action one.
Yeah, talk to me. I get paid this coming Thursday, so
Nah, God, I hate talking money. Yeah. Okay, go back to showing off your swag there.
Oh.
Mayonnaise.
this is actually jungle action number 5 is the first time that Black Panther's what do you call it? Name appears in a title, jungle action. So here we go. And this is just a reprint of Avengers
Let me know if you
62.
want him on, man. If anybody wants to jump on, let me know. There's
Yeah.
one more spot open.
The Dracul is in the chat.
Dracul.
Black Panther. I'm an
God
asshole.
almighty.
Black Panther
No, she just got canceled.
first comes in issue 5 of Jungle Action. So
Wait, I thought his first appearance was in the Avengers.
no, his first appearance is in Fantastic Four,
Oh,
but
that's it.
the first time he appears in this title is in issue 5.
Okay.
But what issue 5 is actually a reprint of Avengers 62. So really, the first
Oh, I have
original
that one.
issue was Jungle Action with Black Panther in it is the Killmonger one, issue number
Yeah,
6.
I have that. I actually have that. Wow, that's one of
This
the
one?
only Silver Age books I have.
It's not Silver Age, it's bronze, but
Is it
close.
bronze? Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's 20 center. So Silver Age, I think it ends in 69, which stays with 12 cent. So once you're in 15, you're bronze and above in terms of the price. So this one actually has a map of Wakanda inside. And it's just one of my favorite issues, period. Thank you, Bobby.
This is actually a really nice issue.
Yeah, these are all so beautiful. There you go,
I'm
Tyler.
gonna steal your thunder for a second.
Yeah, basically.
I actually have that.
Hold on, let me grab shit.
That's the
Here we go,
first
'cause that's
mayonnaise.
basically.
Yep.
It's just a little different, but it's the same
Well,
story.
looks like we lost Brandon.
See, now we're double flexing.
Double
Oh,
flex.
he's back.
No, I was just taking off the coat. It was really hot.
This is another great
You
issue,
really look like Napoleon.
and this talks about like the history of Bast or whatever.
I love it.
For Pedro.
They're great.
Yeah, you didn't recognize mine, but I was like, Dana, eat your food.
Oh my god.
But you can't hear that over text.
Good.
So issue 11. Sorry, this goes through 24, so you're just gonna have to love it all.
You're fine.
12. I know I am.
I was about to say, like, this is your first time on this show. You get to show all your Kang you want to.
Shit, yes. 13. But this is a great series, and just I wish I had a little more love. But you know, if you find these, get them. They're not something that you come across very often. And if someone out there does come across them often, I'm jealous of you and tell me. All right, number 16.
What state are you in again?
Nashville, Tennessee, and a state of delusion.
Yeah, the only thing I come across often is my little Tenacious D comrade. So.
Comrade. 17. Jungle action. Got some nice Killmonger there. With the dinosaur in the back. Do you have any dinosaur bones, Kyle?
Yeah,
He does.
So you had to get him started about dinosaur balls. Now he's gonna
Oh,
put out
yeah,
a
of course he
freaking
does.
pterodactyl.
Do you have this many dinosaur bones?
not that big, but
I do.
Do you really have dinosaur bones? What the hell, Kyle?
It really
That's
does.
what I
have
said. He's gonna freaking pull out a pterodactyl now.
19. Look at him uppercutting the Klans member. This is the
Sacrificing blood.
these next few where he's fighting the Klan is the shit, dude.
Those are actually like there's a lot of controversy in those issues, so there's like very hard to get because they
Yeah.
basically
It's very hard to find. I don't think I've ever seen one in person.
He's on a crucifix, bro.
Oh my god, that's probably hard to find too.
Yeah, that's
Probably impossible to find.
It's beautiful, and it's not because I found one. If I can do it, you can do it. 22.
I was about to say, you live in what state?
Nashville, Tennessee.
There you go. I'm in South Carolina. They're probably hard to find here.
Pretty sure I got these off the interweb, off the eBay.
Yeah.
eBizzle. Maybe a few in real life. One or two. This is a beautiful one. And this is, I'm pretty sure this is John Byrne.
yeah, it is John Byrne.
Yeah, it is John Byrne.
The classic.
Cover.
Mm-hmm. And this is the final cover of the run. And that is issue 24. And that's the first appearance of this dude, Wind Eagle. But I'll show my other chunk after somebody else shows a little chunk.
all right.
You got
Flop back on me real quick since it was requested.
Is that what we're doing? We're showing our
I want to
chunks.
see these fucking dinosaur
Are you
bones.
serious, dude?
So I had to get in my bag of Iwo Jima sand. That's shark's teeth.
Sharks.
Do you have any adamantium?
There's some fossil.
Shit, he's got it.
Vibranium.
There's some fossil. 100 points for who can tell me what this not hunk of rock is.
Granite.
Clay. Oh, fuck. Something like
wood.
stalactite, some kind of marble.
What'd you say,
Petrified
Tylox? That's
Petrified
petrified redwood. That's
There you
3
go.
million-year-old petrified redwood. Hard as a rock.
I've actually seen petrified wood before.
I bet you have.
I have. Yeah. Every morning, baby.
I'm petrified of it.
There's a mosasaur tooth.
A what is or?
A mosasaur.
Holy shit!
You asked the man if he had friggin' dinosaur bones, and he does.
I did. Because I needed to know. Damn it. These are the questions
Shark
that
tooth
need
I
answers.
found on the beach one.
Damn.
All right. Anything else before I block myself off?
Do you have a vial of, what is his name? Billy Bob Thornton's blood?
No.
I
I
think
wouldn't,
that's the thing, though. I
wouldn't
think
have
that
a
is out
vial of
there.
his or her blood if my life depended on it.
Do you have the Holy Grail, the cup that Jesus drank out of at the Last Supper?
Yes.
Rumor has it, like I said, I got that penny, that Jerusalem penny from around 2000. So if Jesus was actually walking around, then there's a 1 in 3,000 shot it was in his hand.
Show my. What would Jesus do with that?
Here's the 2-foot Batman with a 2-inch Adam on him.
Here, go back to him. Let him see his shit.
But this is what hangs from his ear.
What the hell?
Slut.
That's just a little red
Yeah,
thing
everything.
behind it. But this is a leather slut paddle, so that when you're
It'll leave slut on your butt.
Marilyn Monroe slap paddle?
when your ass
Only
gets
gently
slapped,
used.
when your ass gets slapped, it's in reverse. So when your ass gets slapped, you put slut on it. So
Oh my God.
Like a
Which
brand.
is more used, that
That's
or
what
the
hangs
Tenacious
off my-
D rag?
that's what hangs off my 2-foot.
Is it socially acceptable to brand people with slut paddles now?
Yeah, you use
mean,
it just to
they're
punish
into
your
it.
kids, you know,
Yeah.
right across the forehead.
I mean, as long as they're into it, I'm pretty sure it's socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Like I always say, consenting adults. If this
There
is
you go.
all
No, kids like it when you give them structure. I'll see you all in hell.
Who
And
said
then,
that?
speaking of my sheep, my lamb girlfriend earlier, I'm gonna stand up and do a visual. I may have told this one on here.
Oh wow, here we go.
Hey, Brandon, you paying attention, Brandon?
Oh
I'm
God, he's gonna
watching.
show you
It's a
something.
visual for you here, okay? And
All
it's a
right.
question. How come you fuck a sheep facing a cliff?
How can you?
Why?
do you?
Why do you fuck a sheep facing a cliff?
I don't know. Why?
Pushback resistance.
Oh my God.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah,
All right, let's get back to
There's a
some more
sheep
comic book stuff.
yeah, go back to some fun stuff.
All right. Fun.
Yeah, follow that up.
I'm going to cut you up. All right. Wolverine. He doesn't have adamantium. I just recently found this at my LCS the other day, and they had it for absurdly cheap. I don't know why, but I got it. Here you go, dude. That darn cat.
Nice.
Number 1.
That's great.
I love the old school, like Haley Mills Disney movies.
I actually have one of those.
Yeah. So
Darn cat.
love it. And so it shows Haley Mills, and then this is DC for darn cat.
You'll love this. This is right up your alley. You as soon as you see this, you'll be like, "Oh my God, it's beat to death though."
Hillbillies, the Beverly Hill. That's the shit, dude.
Dale 12 cent.
Granny.
I found it for $1. Could not leave that home
That
behind
is-
for a buck. Oh, yep. Have one of those. I
I
don't think
love
that's
the 80s miniseries or whatever.
That's a nice
First
little
appearance
set to
of
hold
all
on to.
Oh man, yeah, because like number 3 is the first appearance of Mojo.
Yep.
If you don't know, this is John Byrne thing. Fucking love it. I love this old school Crystar Warrior.
That's my kind
Issue,
of obscure crap. I love
yeah,
that.
issue number 8 is like a Glenn Danzig got the cut like his design from that cover or whatever. And there's some Alpha Flight, more John
Oh, there
Byrne
you go.
business from the 80s. Just love it. This is more fun 80s minis. Balder the Brave, number 1. And some more. We got Hawkeye and Mockingbird, the Solo Avengers, issue number 1. This goes for like 20 or 30 something issues, maybe more. I could be wrong.
Did it really go that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh shit! There you
Robert
go.
Roger Rabbit, all new
More comic
adventures.
pornos.
#1, yeah. So
Newsstand. What the
yeah,
hell?
it's a newsie. It's in a really nice shape too. Look at these guys trying to get them.
Look at you over here flexing hard.
I know. Somebody has to do it. And then we got some good old Power Pack #1.
God.
You know, I love Louise Simonson. She's awesome. I love it when she did X Factor in the beginning, and I'm pretty sure she was on New Mutants early on. And
She actually played a big role in that
colorist
Uncanny
worked for
run with
Marvel, too.
Claremont.
Maxine, what's her, Steele?
Max Steel.
Yeah, she was a colorist for Marvel for a while. I love her color, and her color is incredible.
She's great. She said the reason why she fell in love with Walt was he drew the prettiest hands. That's
You
what she
mean
said.
Christine Shield? Christy Shield?
That's it. Christine Shield. Mm-hmm.
And we got Neil Adams, Captain Planet.
What?
#1. Yeah.
You were just striking all my childhood into feelings.
I'm surprised they haven't rebooted this and made a new.
I'm surprised they haven't
Yeah.
either.
I know. Well, what happened to this whole got to take pollution down to zero? They were just like, well, fuck it.
Come on, like.
Speaking of another great effort from the 90s,
Oh yeah.
Terminator 2, Judgment Day. What does that say? Part 1 of 3.
One of my favorite movies, my #2 movie of all time.
Yeah,
Come
it
with
used
me
to
if you
scare
want
the
to
shit
live.
out of me as a kid.
#1 is Jurassic Park.
Remember this? Skeleton Warriors,
Oh yes! Oh my
Number
god, I
one
do
is
remember that.
Napoleon Dynamite.
based on the animated series.
Holy
This was
crap.
like biker mice from Mars territory.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember like those cows that were like cowboys, heroes or whatever. I don't know, something like that. Mighty Mouse,
Mighty Mouse.
Oh,
Dark
okay.
Knight.
Oh yeah,
homage.
that's the homage to Dark
Dark
Knight.
Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Did Frank
and-
Miller work on that? Mighty Mouse.
Duck
Oh my
Man.
god, it's Duck Man.
I actually watched that as a kid.
This is
That
yeah.
was such a weird cartoon.
Yeah.
Especially
I
since it was
weird shit.
George Costanza, so you would see him on Seinfeld, and then you would see him on Duck Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my. This came. Oh, I got this, dude. I got this from Comics for Cheap. Oh, I put it up. Shit, never
I don't
mind.
think I was even a kid. I probably was a drunk teenager watching Duckman.
No, J. Scott Campbell did the art for this cover.
Oh yeah, I seen that recently. Who showed that recently? You might have. Did you show
Probably
that
me,
somewhere?
because I'm proud of
You
it.
did.
Yeah, I probably did. And
I
then
literally just got that myself. That's a nice cover.
it is, isn't
I
it?
showed it recently. It might have been Comic Journey.
This is the second
nice.
appearance of Man Thing and his origin.
Done by Neil Adams, no less.
Yeah, Lynn Wein writes and Neil Adams draws the origin story part of this.
You,
So
you
it's
can't
great.
go wrong with some Man Thing.
Yeah, but the guy that created Swamp Thing also writes the origin for Man Thing, so it's just like fucking amazing.
Like, did he jump ship? Didn't he like?
Yeah, I mean he did both. That's what I do know.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
First, what's
Elric.
his name?
Elric.
Gath. Something Gath. What the hell is that wizard's name? It's Elric, but there's also another person. There's a sorcerer that's the first appearance of.
I don't know.
I just traded away my.
Oh, Gath or something like that.
I love Barry Windsor Smith,
Yeah,
one of my favorite artists.
I was about to say he does a lot of actual art.
Yeah. This is one
Like
of my favorite
I went to
covers.
art galleries and seen pictures on the wall and been like, "Is that Barry Windsor Smith?" And it was.
Yeah. So you can move from me.
I just traded away my John Byrne amateur work on Elric. Hey, one more thing before I leave the library.
Mhm.
Flash me up real quick. Since you guys are musical folks, anybody heard of anybody from Hot Pink Records?
No.
Here's something from. Whoop, let's get that focused. Hot
Oh,
Pink Records.
oh man.
Minneapolis Genius, 94 East.
Prince. Yep.
That is 17-year-old Prince's first semi-professional recording and original.
One of my favorite shows he ever did was he did an acoustic show in New York, and it was like him and a purple guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he got the crowd to sing his songs back to him, but he critiqued them while they did it.
That sounds
Did
like
you
Prince.
see the what was it? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the George Harrison, and it was While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Yes, and he shredded on the solo of it.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
like he's not human. This man
Yeah.
is not human. Because like normal humans like you and me, you can't do that shit.
Yeah, and for the he did a cover of like he played Cream, and
Oh,
then like, he
shit.
was like, you guys want to hear the first song I ever learned? And he started streaming "Rolling on the River," and he was like, "Left a good job in the city," and then he gets done, and he's just like, "That's it. That's all I learned was like the first part of that song." That was the
That's
first thing.
funny.
It's hilarious. Everybody's like thought he was gonna play the whole thing.
Oh, Prince was one of those guys that, like, you know, they don't come around very often. You know,
No.
people like to talk about other peers that were during his same time. There's only a handful of people that were on that level of talent.
Well,
Yeah,
he did all the Morris Day and the Time stuff. He wrote all that. He wrote all
couldn't
his stuff.
put him into a box, and I think Michael Jackson was really jealous because Prince could do it all. Michael
could play,
Jackson
yeah.
just had the vocals and the dancing.
Yeah,
No, but Prince was like a musical genius.
Michael Jackson did know music theory. I think he could tell you what he wanted.
Yeah, he
but-
was like, I'm not saying that he wasn't brilliant, but he wasn't Quincy Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like, whereas
he was
Prince,
a different type of species. I want to call him that. He had his brain was wired into the dancing, the humming. Like he could hum you something and say, "I want this is what I want to hear." That's how Michael Jackson was.
he did weird things with his voice. He took the voice to the next, like, to different places.
Mm-hmm.
Prince could actually turn around and write it.
Yeah,
That was the difference.
yeah.
He
Prince
didn't have
could
to tell
write
somebody.
the album. You know, Michael Jackson could perform it, to perfection, but Prince could write it. You know.
You know, he didn't need somebody to, translate what he's looking to do. So
Michael Jackson's best writing was done by somebody else, and his best dancing came from a guy named Michael Peters, who was an incredible choreographer. And if you watch the Beat It video, he's the guy he does the West Side Story dance with the knives. That's Michael Peters. That was a killer dancer right there. Oh, I'm an old song and dance man. So that's why I quote Brigadoon the other day, and yeah.
Everybody loves to go back to Jimi Hendrix's guitar, but I'll be honest, I'm in the minority. Prince was a better guitarist.
No, yeah, I agree.
Prince was a Renaissance man, though.
Yeah.
Like, Prince could literally teach himself almost anything.
But he was a real goofball.
He was playful.
Well, that's how a lot of these guys that are so great at what they do, they're not all there. They're like they're like eccentrics. They're in their own like world.
They're eccentric.
That's what kind of makes it what they are. Because if they did think in the box or like kind of like how your average person talks, they would not be putting out the stuff that they're doing. It's because their brain is wired differently.
And so, like you said, like a once in a lifetime event that these people come around and innovate, like a genre of music, because that's what both of those dudes did.
Well, have y'all ever heard the conversation that Kevin Smith had with him?
Mm-mm.
That's on Kevin Smith Speaks One.
Yeah, he was like talking to he was talking to him about like profanity and stuff like that, and he was like,
To Prince or Michael Jackson?
no, to Kevin Smith. He was talking to Kevin. Prince was talking to Kevin Smith, and he was like, "That's why I don't use profanity, because it's like language for stupid people and stuff like that."
What the
And he was
fuck?
like- and then he was like, "So what you're saying is anybody who curses is stupid?" And he was like, "Well, if the bra fits," and he's like, "What the fuck does that mean? Like if the bra fit, like what the hell?" He's like, "Stop talking to me like I'm Apollonia. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea." Like, So
Well, he was a Jehovah's Witness.
You want to
Oh.
see the DVD that come from? I got that on my DVD.
yeah, it's, was it An Evening with Kevin Smith, volume part one?
Volume
That's the
one.
best one.
He's got 4 of
stories
them
for
now.
everybody.
So you want to hear real quick my brush with Prince story real quick?
Oh my God, you met Prince?
And roundabout, I breathe the same air as him, basically.
Do you have one of his handkerchiefs?
No.
Gotcha.
So he's playing big venues on his tour, and on this particular tour, he'd throw post-show parties at local venues and bars and whatnot. And there's a 144 capacity bar in Broad Ripple in Indianapolis called Birdie's. And it's where a lot of regional acts and sometimes up and coming national acts would play. But again, it's, cramped in a couple pool tables, jammed in the back, a cheap kitchen, then a dance floor and tables around it. So I was booking in bands for Birdies, bands getting a couple $100, me getting $25, $30 for booking them in there. And I set up a show, and my buddy Dan, now man Nice Wonder, was headlining the show, and he was up on stage playing his piano. Well, Prince was downtown playing Conseco Fieldhouse. And at the end of the show, he says, "We're having an after party. It's a private show until it sells to capacity. And when you come to the door," and they already had this figured out, he'd get with charities when he got into town, and they'd pick a charity, and the charity would man the door. And they'd be like, it's $50 at the door in Indiana and like $100 in New York or whatever. But it was $50 at the door to get in. And at the end of his concert, he went, "We're moving this party to Birdie's." And the guy from Birdie's didn't find out till a half hour before and didn't even tell us. So, but they decided they were going to move it to Birdie's because there was like 4 or 5 spots they were going to pick from, and he didn't think they were going to pick his, basically, is why he booked shows and didn't worry about it. And they called him and said, "Prince is coming to your little stage." And I'm in there with my little regional acts up on playing their little fun poppy songs, and they come up and they're like, "Well, we got to shut everything down and get you guys out of the way. Prince is on his way." Shows up. This has 144 capacity. They counted the people that were in the room, and they could stay because they made regular patrons leave. Any of the bands and whatever could stay, and there was only like 7 of us.
I was about to say, if I was in one of those bands, you would have to literally throw me out to get me out of that place. I'd be like, I'm totally playing with Prince.
They brought in like 137 people at $50 a head, and the lady who ran the battered women's shelter came and popped open a thing, and everybody came in and paid $50 a head, and he did $2.50 hours. He did a longer show at this little club than he did at Conseco Fieldhouse.
That's cool though. That's cool as hell. It shows that he's like a real one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was pretty real. He's pretty much a goopy goober too, but he was pretty cool. But I didn't even bother trying to.
I've heard he's got a weird sense of humor. Dave Grohl said that he had no idea. Like he was not watching the Super Bowl, and his phone just exploded one night, and he's like, "The fuck is going on?" And so he answers his phone to like the next person that calls him, and he's like, "What?" And he was like, "Are you watching the Super Bowl right now?" He's like, "No." And he's like, "Prince is playing one of your songs." And he's like, "What?" And he turns on the Super Bowl, and Prince is playing a Foo Fighters song, and he's like, his wife, like he just screams. He's like, "Oh my God!"
It's like the biggest nod ever.
Oh, we lost Kyle.
Well, after the Chappelle show, all the people started busting out with their Prince stories. That's what
That
got
show was
everybody
great
talking.
though.
It was
Good
awesome.
God. Just let it lose
What happened to Tylox? Well, we kicked him off his own channel.
I'll give him
I
like
don't know.
no
Yeah, you're back. Well, I'm here.
chat backstage, homie. Whenever you get a second.
What the hell happened there?
I have no idea. I lost everything. Nick shows up, and the whole internet shuts the hell down.
Hey,
That's what it is.
What'd you do?
What in the hell did you do, Nick?
Unfortunately.
Nick did it. Nick the Dick, he came in and plopped the big one down on it and smashed the internet.
That's right. Cock slammed the whole thing.
Kang time.
The internet.
Yeah.
So
So that's
Brandon, were you prepared for this madness?
I have nothing else to really show. I've got the Clerks animated show that I've been waiting 3 weeks to come in, and it finally came in today. And I haven't had, or not today, earlier this week, and I haven't had any time.
You've
a week
opened
to
it up,
watch it.
right? You got it out of the plastic.
Yeah.
You know the interior art that's in there. You know who TM Nerdy is, don't you? You see him
Yeah.
on shows. I got the interior art there autographed by Brian O'Halloran and Jeff Anderson, and I'm sending that up to TM Nerdy.
Well,
That's
Brandon,
awesome.
Brandon, what you should be showing off is your Kickstarter again for all the people that missed it in the beginning of the show.
There you
Come
go.
on, what the hell kind of salesman you Gen Z people are? You should sell your Kickstarter, damn it.
Why are you so grumpy?
People
people to
check
buy
it
it.
out. Check it out. Yeah, so I'm running a Kickstarter right now called Dismay Avenue. It's my horror anthology series. I love horror. Huge influence on the series was the Twilight Zone. Rod Serling's The Twilight Zone. There's been iterations here and there that are Rod Serling stuff is amazing though. I just love horror, and that's a huge influence. So if you are interested in horror anthologies or horror comics, check out the Kickstarter. I think there's a link somewhere in the chat.
I just dropped it.
Thank you. Yeah. There's the first issue is over 40 pages long of story. It's great story. Second issue is over 60 pages of comics. So over 100 pages of comics with issues 1 and 2. And you can get these really cheap, fairly cheap when it comes to Kickstarters, because you can get issue 1 digitally for just $5. You can get issues 1 and 2 digitally. That's over 100 pages of comics for just $9. And then physical copies start at $11. There's also variant covers. And if you don't care about comics at all, which makes no sense because you're on a comic YouTube channel right now, if you happen to not care about them, there is a Dismay Avenue t-shirt, an exclusive t-shirt that looks super dope, super scary. Highly recommend getting that. And if you like comics, you can get the comics and get the t-shirt. Let me see something real quick. Is it possible on your end, Tylux, to share your screen with that Kickstarter link? That's not the video, but like some of the art images.
Oh yeah.
Because I think the stories are really good, but I mentioned at the beginning, I'm the writer. I'm kind of biased on that. But I want people to see the art at least, and the art is phenomenal. I love the art. Every story has very different art style with it. I think people will really dig it because major type of horror with issues 1 and 2, it's very much like psychological horror, a little bit of cosmic horror, a little bit of supernatural horror. So yeah, if you scroll down to some of the first bit of art, so that's the cover pages, you can
but the
see the
interior
covers.
stuff.
The interiors is what you need to look at, and this one is Tolls the Bells. Basically follows a little boy who
Look at that.
has to stay after class one day. That page right there with the creature is my favorite page from that story, because this story is very much like Junji Ito manga inspired, both story and art.
Yeah.
And then Gaetano, the guy who did the art for it, blew it out of the water. I love it.
That
And
looks
then
like
with this
me after
one-
streaming for 100 hours last night.
And this one, Raw Horror, it basically follows a military soldier waking up at his house and kind of unsure of this familiar environment. It's a short story. This one's only 8 pages long, but the artwork is beautiful. It's very painterly, surreal, atmospheric. This one right here, Destination, follows a little girl going to a thrift shop with her mom, and her mom's looking for stuff. And while the mom's looking for stuff, the little girl finds a musical triangle in the thrift shop that's kind of
Look at
mystical.
that.
And whenever she strikes it, she gets sent to different dimensions. And that page right there is an example of one of the dimensions she goes to. Each time she strikes it, though, it just keeps getting worse and worse, the places she gets sent to. And then this one is Acolyte. Looks very much like a Dr. Seuss type story. Dr.
Yep.
Seuss-esque art style. That's on purpose because it follows a character named Mr. Hinklehorn, that's a Dr. Seuss name, basically. Mr. Hinklehorn going about his daily life, just taking crap from people in his office job and all that. And the whole time, he just carries a big old smile, says, "Thank you, sir," or that type of stuff. It's like something's up with Mr. Hinklehorn. And as the story progresses,
like a psychotic or something at the end.
Exactly. As the story progresses, you're like, oh, okay, I see what is up with this guy. This is pretty crazy. And this isn't spoiling anything. It's not a serial killer thing. I know that's the obvious route. I don't go the obvious route with it. And then this is from issue 1, Program.
Yeah, I love this art.
Yes, Jade Sky blows it out of the water. It just feels very much like I mean, it's at a cinema, but the story feels very cinematic. I absolutely love it. It follows
And I
Ben
love
and
that
Mia.
car. What car were you driving when you went on this date? What is this?
That was not Jade. Was the one that
Okay.
that chose the car design. Yeah, like no. I was driving not a crappy car, but definitely nothing nice. That looks like an Audi R8
I
or
was about to
something.
say it looks like an Audi or something.
Yeah, there's no way I'll ever be able to afford that. But yeah, follows Ben and Mia who go on a movie date night to a movie theater on the outskirts of town. It's really creepy because there's no one in the parking lot. There's only a couple concessions workers. That's it. And some random guy with his hoodie on in the lobby. Very creepy environment. Jade and Ben, or not Jade, Mia and Ben have very realistic dialogue because, like I mentioned, the first third of this story is based on a date I had where all of this happened, basically. And we were like just talking the whole time, whispering to each other, like, this is really weird, but hey, let's go see this movie. But yeah, it's as it progresses, it's very. They get sucked into some surreal situations, basically, as the story progresses. And like I mentioned before, Jade Sky kills it on the art. And you saw with those pages in Program, the panel layout changes, and that's on purpose because it starts out like 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, standard panel layout. As the story progresses, panel layout gets all crazy because you see that, then you see that looks a little bit weird, and then that last page it's shattered and panels are just everywhere.
Was that a hand coming out of that T-shirt?
Oh yeah, you'll see that in just a second.
Yeah.
He's talking about that T-shirt right there. That's the T-shirt that people can get. It's basically a panel that I worked into making a T-shirt from Tolls the Bells.
Yeah, here's the face, and here's like a hand coming up. So it's like
I'm gonna get that T-shirt just for the
Yeah,
hand.
he's like reaching through basically. So you can walk around, people like, oh God, like it's like no. He stays there. He stays there. You can't pull him out. He's on the shirt. But yeah, so you can get that T-shirt. You can get the comics, all fairly priced. I don't try to rip people off. I just want people to read these comics and just kind of support it. And these are some of the variant covers and stuff with that, with issues.
Oh, you know how people like variant covers, so here you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Honestly, your pricing is very fair compared to some of the other
Very fair.
the starters. You're actually giving printed copies at $11.
Yeah. I don't want to like not say rip people off, but like I'm just trying to get these books to people, and then any quote unquote profit, which again there isn't a profit because I paid out of pocket for the artist, but any leftover money goes towards buying more books for conventions or future Kickstarters that people want to go back and read some of the stuff that they didn't pick up before.
Well, we do have a question. Do you have any acetate variants? So I hope you're avoiding those.
I definitely am. I didn't even consider them, but once the whole Ultimate Fallout thing happened, I was like, okay, definitely never going to consider.
That's good.
I was about to say, I was waiting for him to be like, well, now if there's any physical copies left over, I can staple stuff to them.
Hey, what's your Kickstarter goal again?
So the goal, I set the goals low because I just want to get these things funded. So people that back it, they know they will get the book. So the goal was 500, but that's just to assure people that they'll get the book. Right now, right now we're almost at 1,500. It's at we're almost at 1,500. Our next stretch goal is 2,000, and there's an awesome poster that everyone will get when we hit that 2,000 mark. It's a crossover between my Gallows Man series, my Silver Age, Golden Age satire superhero book. It's a crossover of that and Dismay Avenue, like 4 or 5 people or creatures within Dismay Avenue, kind of going after Gallows Man and Newsboy. And Gallows Man and Newsboy are in like the Scooby and Shaggy position where like Scooby is holding Shaggy, like holding him. That's how like Gallows Man and Newsboy are, and all the creatures are surrounding them. I'm looking forward to unveiling that poster to people next week. But yeah, if we hit 2,000, everyone gets that poster.
Very cool. Very cool. See, you're
Stretch
being
goal
reasonable.
750 is a bookmark. They've already hit that one. Stretch goal 2.
Yeah, every physical backer will get those stretch goals already because we hit them.
And then stretch goal 3 to be announced.
That'll be the poster. Yeah.
Oh man, that is awesome. Wait, which one's the poster? Like
No, I haven't showed the poster yet. Those are from the Gallows Man. Every 25 backers, one of those sets are given away. Their stickers here. I've actually got some right here. After this, I'll show off some of the stickers, but they're giveaway stuff.
Very cool.
Very, very cool. I'm loving this. I'm loving Gallows Man. This is and the horror books too.
I do want to mention to people, like, the only way to get these books is through the Kickstarter. I don't have an online store or anything, exclusively on Kickstarter. So if you want Dismay Avenue 1 and 2, you got to get it within the next couple of weeks, as well as if you missed the Gallows Man Kickstarters, they are available through this Kickstarter. So whenever you click on a tier, you get taken to an add-on section, and you can add Gallows Man books to your order, and they're all signed. All the Gallows Man books are signed. So yeah, you can get your horror and your funny, fun Golden Age, Silver Age superhero books as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to get paid.
I'm gonna show you guys one last thing, and then I'm gonna leave.
No acetate, never.
Hey, Lady Fantastic. Why do you think I'm grumpy?
Because I'm of selfish people like me.
Well, I'm a very pleasant human being if you get to know me.
Oh,
And I'm not grumpy at all. This is me being very nice to everybody. I don't understand why you think I'm grumpy.
oh, did I say I was grumpy, or you were? I was probably just. I mean,
No, I was listening. You think I was listening? I listened to everything. I heard that little
first
snipe,
appearance
comment
of
before
the
Brandon was talking. I
new
heard you.
Fantastic Four. You are a chatty Cathy. You were mom, man. You were probably a handful. I have a problem. I'm just gonna admit it.
Buying the same book over and over and over
How
again.
do you always do it?
I have a problem. I don't know why, but like I love this team.
God.
I won't.
Is
Oh,
someone
dude.
sprecking? Is somebody sprecking?
It's not so much spec as it is just like I love Art Adams and I love this new team, and if it's gonna go big, Mama's gonna have a lot of copies, and so you could call it just like long trajectory spec, but I don't think this is gonna make me any money anytime soon.
Hey, K-Row, trivia question for you.
What?
What was Art Adams' first professional comic work?
Oh man.
Porno.
I don't know. I know Longshot was an early one, but I
It
don't think
was.
it's his first one.
His first one is Comico Gumby Christmas Special.
Of course, that's what I was gonna say.
I actually have that.
I got a mint condition raw copy. If you like Adams that much, you want me to set that on the K-roll pile too?
Send me a picture of it. I want to see it.
That's
All right.
hilarious. I think
I
actually
would want it strictly for the Gumby.
I used to watch
Gumby
Gumby.
doesn't get enough love
Love.
nowadays.
Yeah, the
Gumby.
nostalgia in that
Gumby, man.
alone.
Ed,
Sorry.
What were you saying, CJ?
But just, every time I hear about Gumby, first of all, I think I have that book, so I gotta go dig it out. But it reminds me of that Eddie Murphy skit that he did on SNL.
Gumby, damn it.
God.
I'm
Gumby, damn it.
I'm a big John Byrne Fantastic Four fan. So yeah, I've got like his whole run. I'm like sitting next to my 2 Fantastic Four boxes. So the box on the bottom has got like starting from like 53 going through like 247. No, 244. And then this box starts with 245. And it goes through. I stopped collecting Fantastic Four around after 370s, I think. After now, not really. I mean, I'm like,
I just traded away my 1973 and 74 amateur John Byrne work
oh yeah.
this week.
I love I don't think I have them on me right now, but I have an awesome Doomsday +1 number 4 John Byrne cover, and it's 1975.
Yeah,
So,
his first pro work was Doomsday +1 issue 1. He did 1 through 5.
yeah, so the number 4 I have is beautiful. I mean, it's just like amazing. But all right, dudes. Thanks for letting me show my Kang to you guys.
No
that was
problem.
really personal.
You're always welcome to show us your Kang anytime
I'll
you're
come and flop him
Hey,
out.
hey, Ty, since we were talking about it, can I whip my Kang out one more time?
I guess we haven't seen it
We're
enough.
talking about.
All right, night, my fellow Kangs.
Have a good
Night,
one.
Nice.
Good
And
night.
then we will go to Nick, let him show some stuff off. And I know
Well,
he's got some stuff he
I
wants.
was in the video wall, so I went ahead and pulled off my Aristocrat signed by Gilbert Gottfried. Had to grab that because it's over there. So, but I went
Rest
over there
in peace,
because-
Gilbert.
Rest in peace. Yes.
I went over there because of the 1, 2, 3 evening with Kevin Smith.
He's the greatest principal you wanted to hate.
There's the first Kevin Smith where he talks about Prince. Then if you want a rare Kevin Smith piece and an early Jason Mewes,
I do not like
movie
Kevin Smith.
Drawing Flies. And you ain't gonna enjoy this one then, because since he pulled out that Clerks, I figure.
I do not appreciate what he did with He-Man.
Oh yeah, I can see that. There's my Clerks Chasing Amy script book signed by him.
Nice.
That was actually one of the good movies he made.
Muse signed it on the interior there.
Wait, CJ, do you not like any of the Clerks movies?
I like Clerks 1. I liked Mallrats. I liked Chasing Amy. As weird as it sounds, I did like Dogma.
I was about to say, you didn't like Dogma?
I did
O'Halloran
like Dogma.
and Anderson autographing their things where he's 37.
I think that's
But-
about where it ends with me as far as what I liked about Kevin Smith's stuff.
About to say you didn't like Red State?
Yeah,
What's
that's
it?
brutal. There's me dicking around with Brian O'Halloran. So,
I even like Cop Out.
I haven't seen Cop Out. I like Tusk. I thought Clerks 2 is actually pretty good.
Clerks
I love
2, I
Clerks 2.
like.
There's Strike Back signed by Muse, O'Halloran, Anderson, and Morris Day. Good.
That movie caused me not getting laid that night. I took my date to the movie to watch that freaking movie, and she's like, "What the fuck are you taking me to?" And she's like, "What kind of movie is this?" And I ended up going home blue balls. Like, I don't like that. I like that movie.
That's the interior to the cartoon. It's signed by
Nice.
Anderson and O'Halloran. That's going up to TM Nerdy. There's my clerk signed by O'Halloran and him. There's my Vulgar. There's another creepy one.
Vulgar was
Yeah, I saw
Crazy.
Vulgar a couple years ago.
Wait,
I'm
is
glad
that
he was
Kevin
able
Smith?
to make it, but it was all right.
Is Vulgar Kevin Smith?
yes.
It's Brian
Well,
Johnson.
Brian.
Kevin
Yeah.
produced it, but Brian Johnson. That's Brian Johnson's pet project.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's where the clown come from on the View Askew thing. Was the thing.
Yeah.
All right, Vulgar was it was okay for what it was.
I was about to say
Yeah.
Vulgar. I found Vulgar in high school, and we were like, "Oh, Kevin Smith, View Askew," and we watched it, and we were like, "What kind of movie? Like, holy shit!"
The guys were so blown away when I told them how amazing I thought that movie was, because they knew it was kind of crazy. But I said it was one of those. A good movie should be marked by suspension of disbelief. If
Look at
you
the look at
forget
Nick's
you're
face.
watching a movie star and you're just watching a movie and it's not CGI'd over. I was watching people I was actually familiar with
I was wondering
I
how long
lost
ago
it.
you didn't notice.
because I'm like, it seems so creepily real that my suspension of disbelief went
It did seem really real.
right
That's what
away
freaked
because
us
it's
out.
so grotesque and so real. And I'm like, and that made it an amazing movie. I mean, it's just
When the movie ended, I literally looked at my best friend and I was like, I wonder how many times this has happened to clowns. Like, maybe this is why they're so, demented and stuff.
I mean, it was straight up Deliverance, but
Yeah.
rip
Oh,
off
totally
Deliverance.
Deliverance.
Look at that look of disappointment on Nick's face. That's
Dude, because I was looking down and all of a sudden I looked up, I'm like, I'm the
that-
center of attention.
that is
That's
all
good.
because of him thinking of what Kevin Smith did to He-Man.
Yeah. I'm a
Oh,
Clerks guy.
God.
I'm just going to say it.
So Nick, who are you facing this week?
Say that again. So, I'll tell you right now. I actually don't know. Is it you?
I'm facing Brian.
Oh, you're facing Brian. Okay, then I'm not
Yeah,
facing
Brian.
Brian. I am facing. Oh, I have to log in. I got a new phone, so I have to re-log into all my apps.
Yeah, this happened to me too. I had to
Dude.
relog into everything.
Don't know the login to anything. I know I got smoked by Chris the comic vet the other day. That was not good.
No, yeah, you got murdered.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
bad.
not
I
good.
felt bad for you. I was cheering for you though.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let's see.
Well, see, if you beat him, then it would have put me and Brad closer to winning. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like me and Brad are right behind him.
Oh, wow.
Go
So we were
Brad.
both like, come on, man, you got to beat him.
I am versing Bearded.
Oh, okay.
So, but I think I've the last time I looked, we were all pretty close to even on the roster, and I'm at the very bottom again, I think.
Me and Brian are really close, but
Oh yeah.
Brian's actually slated to win. He's got more points projected than me, but I don't even go by that.
Yeah, no, you can never go by the projection. It doesn't. It's
And they
never.
sidelined Zeke last minute. They were literally like, "We're giving you a last chance to swap somebody out for him because he's on the disabled list." And I was like,
Yeah, that's what sucks about those day-to-day guys or doubtful guys or questionable guys. You don't find out until kickoff. Who's playing and who's not.
"Yeah."
But
Well, that's why they give you that last second.
Yeah,
Like,
thank
here's your
goodness,
last
yeah.
warning, you better swap somebody else.
yeah,
So we shall see. So
How have you
picked
been, Nick?
pick up.
I'm good. I'm still going crazy in this new house, doing a lot of things. I still didn't even do my new comic book day video. I've been lucky to jump on channels. I did this. I was on the hunt with Tylox last Friday.
Have you been
That's really
brushing
it.
up on your look at me?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the googly eyes are looking.
Yeah.
They're totally looking.
Tylox, are you on the hunt this coming Friday?
I haven't said whether I'm going to or not.
Alright.
I'm probably not because my work schedule changed. There's
Alright.
going to be no hangout with your hangout next week because I have to work next Saturday.
Lame.
Yeah, very lame.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out who I'm versing because I'm not defending at Huntomania, and I was like, I wonder if Tylox is going for my vote, which would be cool. I don't care. I was just wondering. I'm trying to find out who it is ahead of time. So
Wait, I thought we were doing the triple tag team thing.
Yeah,
When is
that's-
that?
that's in 3 weeks, so we still have time for that, thankfully.
Then I don't know. I need to hit Tony up.
Yeah, that's
I'll
not
hit him
until
up.
Mania, which is in 3 weeks, so we still have time at least.
I'll hit him up and see what we're
Yeah.
doing.
But
Because I'll have to try to get I'll try to have to figure something out because now I've got the beard going, so I have to get the suit.
Yeah.
What's
What do you
his name? Rick Rude had a suit on when he had the beard. So
yeah, what are you doing? No shave November?
no, I just It's
If you
cold.
did No Shave November, would you have a beard down to here? Yeah.
You'll see it's starting to get winter, and I don't
Yeah.
want my face to be cold, so I'm about to grow it out.
Fair.
Do you do a no shave your ass November or no
I
wax? your ass?
already do that. I have a
There you
butt
go.
hawk.
The
Yeah.
ass mullet.
Like a furry caterpillar right down the middle. So
Yeah.
it keeps my balls warm. It's great.
That one's for life. That's not just
Jesus,
Yeah.
I ain't been turned on for 3 years because of these cancer treatments, but I think that one got to me.
Yeah.
I don't need to shave, man. I just freaking shed. But
That's because nobody sees your face. You don't have to shave. No one sees your face. You don't have to shave.
He's too damn handsome. He'd show us all up.
I'm a sexy freaking bastard. Nobody knows that, but I
He
do.
is the sexy beast. I know it.
Fair.
I'm not even gay, and I know it.
Fair.
So what'd you pick up? You picked up anything good?
Yeah, I went through some like dollar bins actually. I finally, as crazy as it sounds, I finally watched Thor 4. I finished it. I've been watching like 5 minutes of it every day for like 3 months because I just for some reason
Why?
never sat down to watch it.
Why even bother?
I was about
That's
to say,
the
did you enjoy it at all?
I really didn't.
No. Yeah.
I was
Nobody
very
did.
disappointed, but I do
Nobody
love
did.
like the Mighty Thor covers. So I picked up a bunch of covers, and I'm
You
a big
enjoyed it.
Beta
You
Ray
watch
Bill
6
guy.
minutes a day instead of 5.
Yeah, would have eliminated a day or two at least. But I'm a big Mighty Thor fan. So I picked up some covers. I'm a big Beta Ray Bill fan, so I picked up a couple random ones.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Beta Ray Bill and Thor defeated by Curse. I actually just read. Let me see if I can find them. I actually just found that I picked up like 2 minor keys.
Can you show that UPC box on there?
It's the hammer. It's
See, I dig that. I don't know. I was talking about that. I don't remember when. I love when they draw those little like individual type of things in the UPC boxes.
Yeah.
Like I had gotten these 2. This one's actually really cool. This is volume 2, but it's got the it's like a gold shine cover.
Oh yeah.
This was the first resurrection of Thor in the second volume. I didn't know it was a key. It's like it's only a couple bucks, but super random.
Looks like
And
freaking
then I
neck
found
up
out that this is also the second volume. So it's no longer Blake as Thor. This was
Yeah.
this is the death of him. I was like, I didn't even know that. Like I just picked them up for the covers.
I have
read that,
one
and I was
issue,
like-
and it has the absorbing man.
Yeah.
It's like issue 26 or something like that. I have
Yeah.
one of the second volume.
Yeah.
The
Nice.
third volume is great because that was like Oliver Copiel doing all the artwork and stuff like that.
Nice.
Oh man.
Yeah, I picked up a Hercules cover. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
I always love that cover.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're looking for any old Journey into Mysteries, I got a stack of those that are on the trading block.
Oh yeah.
For that.
The only thing I've ever read, I'll actually pull it out in a second. And then this one I really liked, Thor fighting Beta Ray Bill.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
It's animal cruelty.
The only thing I've ever read for Journey into Mystery,
Of course.
I picked up a few of these, the Marvel Masterworks. It's obviously not like the original, but I can't find my Journey into Mystery one, number 1. I read that. It's got like 9 issues in it. These are pretty cool.
Nice book. I forgot those even existed.
Honestly, this is like I have the Avengers one too. I'm seeing if I have it. I have so many boxes of things I don't have undone yet. I don't see my Avengers one, but that's how I read the original Avengers. Like,
How much do they go for these days?
so they're typically like $50. I'll actually tell you what the cover price is. I got this on sale for $20, but they're labeled at $50. And then on
that's
the back,
really great. $20 for a book like that. That's
and
a
it shows
really
you what's
good
in it.
price.
So it's literally just like the first run. Like, never gonna fight that, So it's a good way to read them. Hardcover's cool,
It's
but
a
I
great
think
thing to put in your bookshelf without looking like a nerd.
exactly. True. It looks better though. Yeah, I don't see my Avengers one, but I really enjoyed reading that one too.
Yeah, I got the Masterworks issue 1 of that on its way to me. Number
Nice.
1963, signed by Kirby.
Oh, geez, that's awesome.
And
Very
I got
cool.
X-Men 1 Milestone, signed by Kirby too. But
Nice.
that was the last things he did when Dynamic Forces first started off in 91 and 92. That was the
Oh,
last
wow.
Kirby signed before he died.
Very cool. And then I actually picked up Nick's Kicks and Comics was doing one of his garage sales, and I don't see him in the chat, so I'll show you guys. I picked up for Brian LCS, some AOKs. I know he's a big Spider-Man guy, so I picked up the Delato cover of Spider-Man 11.
Oh,
Nice cover.
Yeah, I think it's a connecting cover because this is like the leg of the Iron Spider. And then I picked him up. Nick gave me this for like real cheap. He gave me the Delato. This is Marvel Voices Legacy #1. So I'm just gonna give that to Brian too, just for doing the CBC awards and stuff. Plus, he lives like 20 minutes from my house, so I get to run into him every once in a while too. So,
What's a cheap 9.8 go for nowadays?
I think Nick gave me that for like $30.
Jeez.
So yeah, he slabs a whole bunch of good covers. So when he shows off his stuff, like he's really not looking for like crazy value in it. And when he held that up, I was like, hey, I want to get that for Brian, and I think he had it up for 50, and he's like, just send me 30. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna fight
It costs
that.
more than that to ship and grade it, doesn't it?
Probably. Well, he lives across the street from CGC, which is crazy.
Well, there you go.
So he just walks
no,
his
wait,
stuff
is
over.
it-
He can just do
no, he lives across the street from CBCS.
That's what it is. CBCS. Okay.
Yeah, he literally lives like a block away. He literally
it's
walks
crazy.
down there and drops his books off the front door.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
he
but
goes
that's
knocks.
pretty much the price of actually, if you lived anywhere outside of Florida and you're shipping it, I've done the math. If you're selling a single book and you're just grading one book, it costs you approximately $38
Yeah.
to come back.
Wow.
Actually, it might be a little bit more than that.
So I mean, but that's always made sense to me, man, because like I never understood people just send random stuff. I mean, I understand maybe if there's a really cool cover you want,
Yeah.
get slabbed, then yeah, I kind of get that. But just sending like random stuff there and stuff like that, like if it's not at least worth what it costs to get slabbed,
Yeah.
don't send it.
Yeah,
That's
no,
because
absolutely.
They work on masses, like a volume. So,
Mhm.
like, the more you send, the shipping starts like to get
Right.
split up. So it's costing you less than shipping. It actually, if you're like one of these heavy duty guys that do a lot of grading, you're better off sending lots of 50, 25, 50, 100 books at a time.
Right.
Yeah,
Save the shipping.
yeah, but then you get that whole thing that happened with CBCS where they lost 300 and something books. Dude, and I was like, why would you send 300 and something books at one time? Like,
Businesses, stores.
that terrifies me, though. I mean, I would just be terrified to ship all
Yeah,
that.
but think about it. If that's your business, if you're running LCS and you have to get graded books every month,
Right.
that's how you're going to do it.
I think
Yeah.
the only thing in my library I'd grade on purpose, probably get a 4 1.0. I'd send that Superman thing into PSA just to get it sealed up and taken care of. But hell, I got it in a Loctite, so it ain't going nowhere.
Well, I know a lot of card guys who swear up and down. They're like, dude, you don't have to grade your cards.
Well, I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you. I'll tell you something. One of the reasons I'm really contemplating getting a lot of stuff graded right now is not because of sending it to graded and resell it, whatever the case is. If I need to insure it, which I'm going through all my stuff right now. Insurance companies, you show them a copy of I don't know, an expensive book. You show them a copy of Avengers 1 and it's raw. They're not going to give you as much money in case it gets stolen or lost, unless it was graded and you have certification that it was graded. And because it's all up to perceptions. Well, you say it was worth this much. How do we know? Well, I got it graded by a third-party source. It's accredited. That's how I know, and I have documentation on that. And that's the reason I honestly, and I think more and more people that have big stuff, expensive stuff, should get them graded for that reason, and that reason alone, just to protect themselves.
Yeah, just insurance protection. But I don't know, Brandon. If I got your attention with that Superman candy card,
Yeah.
if you come with the Thunder, that's up for trading too. But you got to come with some bank or some trade on that one. So
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to trade. I mostly I haven't been collecting floppies in a while. I mostly get like Kickstarter floppies, but I still buy and trade. Like the only comic related thing I collect now is like original comic art. Like that's my main thing. I go
Yeah,
for
there you
now.
go. You've been bit by the bug.
Yep.
Kyle, you got me intrigued now. You have a Hulk 181?
I got a 180. I'm working on getting a 181, but I'll get it.
Okay.
So
I got a 182, and I got a 180, but I don't have a 181.
If you really don't want that ASM 300 you said that's beat to death, I might make you an offer on that.
It's the only one I have. If I had another one, I'd trade it out. I promise you, if I could get myself another copy at the same grade or better, I'll talk to you about it.
I was about to say it's probably gonna be in the next couple months. I'm probably about to throw out some money on one. I just don't know.
But that was the book I
Might not
picked.
be November. It might be, if for real, might be my Christmas present to myself.
I picked that book up as a spot filler. Because it was part of a big lot that I got.
Facsimiles for is spot fillers.
What's that?
Facsimiles. I've been buying a lot of, like, looking at a lot of facsimiles, even if they're like $20. Like, I've been looking at was it New Mutant 98 facsimiles for like $10-15 or something like that.
It's pricey.
But still, that's way cheaper than, and that way, if I want to get one that's graded, I can get one that's graded, so I have a book to read.
Tyler, you're gonna love.
That's what I do with the 181.
Now,
I got what?
What's that, Kyle?
Tyler, you're gonna love the trade I'm hammering out now. I got a Pence variation copy of ASM 31 and ASM 50 sitting on the trade block, ready to come to me.
There's a one of the current issues of ASM that's coming out. There's a John Romita Jr. ASM 50 homage cover coming out, and it's like his version of that cover. And I immediately was like, oh, yep, getting that one. That's going in. Yeah, that's in the cart. Put it in the cart.
That's actually one of the few books that I still have left from my original collection.
CJ, before I traded away, have you seen my original?
I wish I would have bought that book years ago because it's become insanely pricey.
What'd you say, Kyle?
Before I traded away, have you seen my original art that I got to the DC Treasury, the Bible from the early 70s?
I don't believe so.
I got some of it up on my channel, but I'm fixing to trade that away.
I'll go check it out.
But yeah, that's Sheldon Mayer original art. 60 pages of original layout art to a treasury. So
right now, I'm being very particular about stuff like that I'm really targeting. Hulk 181 is one of them. And Avengers 1 is the other. Those are the two books that I'm gonna try as hard as I can to hit hard.
Yeah,
At least attainable.
This man paid like $270 for was it 6.0?
A what?
That GSX you got.
Cost me $270 in raffle tickets.
In raffle tickets, he bought $270 in raffle tickets and won a GSX.
So I spent the money and I had freaking luck like you couldn't even freaking believe.
Like, he was speechless after he opened the package. He was like, I never thought I'd own a copy of this book. Not this good a grade. I really thought I'd never own it.
Because I know myself, I'm too freaking cheap. I wouldn't pay that much money for it. That's the point. You know what I'm saying? I might have traded at one point through it or whatever the case is, or upgraded. But even here's the thing: even I had a low grade copy, and I found a better copy, and it wasn't at a great deal, I would not have bought it because I'm too cheap to buy it. I'm like, I'll stick with the low grade copy. I have a lot of low grade books in my collection, so because I don't mind having them in 2, 3.0, 4.0, whatever the case is, as long as they're very nice and presentable. That's it.
Another mind blower I got coming in this British trade I'm doing is an early 1963 Fantastic Four #1, first British printing.
Wow.
So Pence variant.
It's basically an FF1, but like printed just about 14 months after the original. So it's not technically a reprint because it's the first British print, but it's a reprint of FF1.
Yeah, it's the British variant.
But it's the first printing of the British variant of it. So
Tell
I
you
got
what,
that
that's a
guy.
nice consolation prize to have if you don't have Fantastic Four 1, the original.
I ain't in a hurry to get it, but I figure I could have got an X-Men 1 for some stuff I got, but I'll just stack up. I'm getting a GSX 1. I'm getting a,
You talk about the original X-Men one? I have one of those.
yeah. If
That,
you got
that
the original X-Men 1, I got stuff that's tradable.
no, that's actually not unless I see something that really gets me going.
Well, if you ain't a big Superman fan, I'd put that thing on the table if we were talking X-Men 1, but
Not I'd be the only thing that would intrigue me is the Hulk.
I was
Hulk
about
one.
to say maybe a Hulk one or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that would be that's the kind of
Oh,
thing that would stimulate me.
Nick, there's a facsimile coming out in February.
Of Hulk one.
Hulk one.
You know
Oh,
I'll be
wow.
picking it up.
Oh yeah, yeah, letting you know there's a Savage She-Hulk #1 facsimile coming out as well in the next couple months.
I got the
Wow.
original one of that, so it doesn't like go make me go crazy about it, But Hulk one, I pick up all the facsimiles until one day I finally get an original. If I ever get original, that book is.
I'm getting one because now I've got like a couple Hulk books and I've read them and I've actually liked them, so I'm probably going to end up going down that rabbit hole as well.
I
Freaking
ain't gonna
Hulk is
live long enough
expensive.
to fill all those in, so I
I
figure
got a
I'm
John Byrne one. It's like 318 or something like that. And I read it and I was like, man, I really like this. It's another hole I'm going to end up falling down.
Those Hulk books, those first 6, they're getting expensive. Real,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
so
don't
mad I
Live
passed up
long
on that.
enough.
I passed up on that Tomb of Dracula facsimile. I don't know why I didn't just pick it up.
I think I passed on it too.
I passed on
Okay.
it too. I don't give a shit. Honestly, like
That makes me feel better.
I'm serious. Like there's a lot of these facsimiles that come out. That I don't get. I passed up on the first Hawkeye one that when it came out.
I got that. I've got it.
I passed on it, and I went into LCS today and I got it for $1. So I'm like, you know what? I don't need to get them all right as soon as they get out. A lot of them,
You can find them places if you go digging.
unless there's a specific spot filler I need to get, like I'll get the Hulk one because it's part of something that I'm putting as a collective. But the random facsimiles, Tomb of Dracula is this, that. I went in and got the freaking Moon Knights. Why?
I've got the Moon Knight one that came out. I got it.
I ended up
Just
getting
because
like
I know-
3
I
of them.
know
I ended up giving them
That's a
all
good
away.
spot filler for me because that's the book that I'm collecting, or that's a run that I'm collecting. It's Moon Knight.
Of that original series.
I mean, yeah, like eventually I'm going to get to it, but right now I'm working on my ASM stuff. I really love Amazing Spider-Man and Peter Parker and stuff like that. So I really need to get serious about trying to get that run done if I'm going to start doing stuff in runs.
Listen, I can tell you something. The Amazing Spider-Man run that you're putting together is a very good run to have. Not only because it's great stories, it's great everything, but as far as lasting and people liking it, and like in case you ever get into a crunch and you need to like raise some money by selling it,
Yeah.
you'll always find selling buyers for Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The other stuff, Werewolves by Nights, this, that. Fuck that. I don't want to buy
No, well, except the first Moon Knight. For some reason, that book has always never been cheap. I don't know if it's just because there's not a lot of them out there.
Yeah, but you see how much it's dropped?
The cover is also sick.
Is it dropped a lot?
Oh my god, it's been like doing nosedives ever since the show came out.
Look, you got me grabbing for my eBay on my phone now.
I'm telling you, it's not as
You said it's
expensive
been
as
doing nosedives. I was like, not just one, multiple ones? Okay.
I got the second appearance just recently of Moon Knight
Yeah.
for $60. A decent grade.
You want good Moon Knight? The Hulk magazine, that run Sienkiewicz did in the back of the Hulk magazine
Yes.
from like issue 12 to 20.
Rampaging Hulk.
Oh my God, that is so good. It is so good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
That whole run of that Rampaging Hulk series was amazing.
I love those covers.
So it's just amazing.
I just wish it was in comic format and not in magazine format. That just drives me crazy. Otherwise, I would have went after the whole run.
You would have think that it collected it by now with as good as it was. I mean, granted, Sienkiewicz was doing his best Neil Adams impersonation on the run, but it still came off good. So that is a must-have for Moon Knight fans. So
Yeah, that's
And Hulk
that's not fair to Sienkiewicz. I'll tell you something, because he developed his own identity as time went on.
yeah, I mean, he's the one that said it. He's the one that said that was his Neil Adams impression. He's the one that said I was doing my best Neil Adams to do that.
Yeah, a lot of people locked him into that though after he made that comment. So he's like,
But yeah, he's got his own style. So
he's a good artist, really good artist.
he's fun to watch draw.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
So yeah, CJ, you get to talking again, and this little short show is pushing 3 hours now. Poor Brandon just getting dragged along for the ride here.
Yeah,
No, I'm
it's
good.
like an hour,
I'm
an
good.
hour and a half, and now it's the whole 3 hours.
Well,
So, yeah, I think we're gonna cut it off. I think we're gonna end it here. Like I said, there won't be one next weekend. I have to work. Unfortunately, there's no way out of it. So there won't be one next weekend, but the next weekend after that, we'll be right back on it. So appreciate everybody for coming, hanging out, listening to us BS around and tell great stories. And everybody go check out. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat one last time. Go check out this Kickstarter. I will definitely be getting on this myself as soon as I get paid. Go check this out and give Brandon some love. And I hope everybody had a good night. And also, everyone go check out my 300 sub contest video that I just dropped and get entered in my 300 sub contest. I got lots of prizes to give out when that live stream happens. I'm gonna wing it on it, and you'll just see an event scheduled for when it's gonna be, because I don't really know a good time to actually say here it is. I'll probably give it a couple weeks, let everybody get in and entered. So that's pretty much it. Everybody have a good day, and I will see everyone later. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, and hashtag Brandon's a badass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.